Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another match review on Chelsea Perspective. And this time it's a London derby. You could say it's a season-defining game. You could say it's the biggest game of the season, given that we're playing Arsenal. It is the same for them as it is for us because it's very important. It's become even more important given Aubameyang's comments again. Yeah, I hope you're ready for it. We get into the show in a bit again. Just let me play the intro because, in fact, it is the Blue Morning Show. Let's not miss that one out. I will change it soon. Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. Again, I can't thank you enough, DJ, for finding the time to be the first on the panel. That means a lot to me, brother. It looks like you're ready for this one. And I said this, as it is the tradition, I'm gonna get what we have in the chat already because it is interactive here. And as usual, the captain of the house, Leon Lane, is already here. Blue Morning Kachila panel and chat. Thank you so much for kindly saying that, Leon Lane. I appreciate that. And we have again Matt asking for the link. I've done that. Again, Brian Mawoko, hello to you too. I hope you're doing well too. Again, yes, people, as you're coming in, please drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, to help us reach more people. I appreciate that. And he says again, Matthew Lee Benjamin, it's been a minute, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says, big up to you too, brother. Again, yes, like the damn video. Please drop a like to help us reach more people. We appreciate that. Anyone else, anything else to address here? Nothing more. I'm going to come back to the panel immediately and say big up to my brother Ty. It's weekend and I'm happy you found time to join us. Ty, how are you doing? I can't hear you, or is it me? DJ, can you hear me?
Yeah, bro, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. Okay, how are you doing, man? I wasn't hearing what you were saying then.
Who, me? Oh, I'm fine, Kachi. First of all, good morning to you, bro. Thank you for having me on your show, as
Good morning
always.
to you too. No, thank you for finding time to join. I know how busy you are. Yeah.
And big up to everybody in the comments as well. Good morning to you all, and a happy blue morning to everyone.
Yeah, it's a hot one today. I'm going to start by looking at some random topics that Simon Phillips says. Reece James is confident of an England World Cup chance with Chelsea defender ahead of Shadow in an injury recovery. To me, I don't think it's worth it, really. I don't think it's an unnecessary risk. It's going to make, again, yeah, it will be good for England if he gets to play, but that's a chance. Again, he experiences a setback that's going to be bad for the club after the World Cup. What do you think, DJ?
Yeah, I'm a bit. Obviously, you know, I think this is a vital time for players now. But the player of Reece James has obviously got injured recently, you know, and he's out. I mean, if he's got this schedule wanting to come back, I can understand that. But at the same time, I hope to God he doesn't go as a risk because, you know, as much as I would love him to, because obviously we do need him for the England team as well. But, you know, I wouldn't risk him if he's not going to go into the World Cup 100% fit. I would say just leave it and just rest it out. If you can join at a later stage, do it then. But for now, say no to him. We need him rested up because last thing we do is need him to get injury to go bad again. So yeah, I mean, I can understand what he's wanting though to go to the World Cup like every other player out there. So you know, but I hope not.
Yeah, it's not worth the risk really. Again, it just doesn't make any sense. I know it will be devastating for him to miss the World Cup, but I think it's too much of a risk for him to just, you know, again, even for Gareth Southgate to pick him, I don't think it makes sense. It's a risk. He's not fully fit, no matter how we see it. You know, he's just recovering. Ty, what do you think?
Ooh.
What do you think about Reece James again? That he's hoping to be at the World Cup. Look at the comments here. Reece James is confident of an England World Cup chance with Chelsea defender ahead of schedule in injury recovery. To me, it's an unnecessary risk. The World Cup will come around again. He's still young. I don't know why he's in a rush to go. I wouldn't even pick him if I was a guy Southgate. He would just make up the filling space that he shouldn't unnecessarily. What do you think?
I generally think I don't like it. I really don't like it, but I'm not surprised because all these English players that we have, that is their aspirations, competing in the World Cup. And even in Reece James's case, I can understand why, because it's going to be his first World Cup. And, you know, it only comes around every 4 years. So by that time, he'll probably be older and, you know, there's nothing like your first World Cup. So because of that, you're limited in terms of competing for your country at the highest level in top competitions, really. So I can get it, but I don't like it because he has injury issues. He's slightly looking injury prone, and we have to protect him in terms of that because we only have one reliable right back per se, or one that you can rely on. And if you utilize a different one, you can see the dip in performance, or you can see the lacking that on that side. So I generally think that we should block this because it's not like we can prevent it from happening, But I guess in a sense, from James's perspective, it's simply that he wants to compete in the World Cup with England. But I don't know if I'm fond of that because we need him to be fit. And whilst he wants to go on and represent England, we need to find ourselves another right back as well. But in the meantime, we at least need one available. And right now, I'm not really sure if that is ideal to allow him to go to the World Cup when he's literally recovering from an injury that is severe and can worsen.
Yeah, again, it doesn't make any sort of sense to me. Just quickly, and I get, thank you for highlighting the fact that we can actually block it. Because it just doesn't make any sort of sense. It would be selfishness on the part of England, of which I'm sure Gareth Southgate wouldn't again consider selecting him because he knows it's not fully fit. To him, it's just again, I wouldn't say selfishness, but it's just the eagerness, like you've mentioned, to go to his first World Cup. But then again, would it make any sort of sense if you go and not do well? And big up to my brother CFC Fahim. Nice to see you again, bro. I hope you're doing well. Again, your channel got to be one of the fastest growing channel in the Chelsea community. And again, people, if you haven't go out to that number, I think it's nearly 50,000 now if it hasn't grown past that. But more importantly, nice to see you here, brother. I hope you're doing well. Let's see again. I will be happy if Alba scores 2 goals. I will be happy again. But again, it remains to be seen whether that will happen. It will show Arteta again. He made a big mistake removing him from the captain, but not again. A lot of all the stuff that happened that we're not here to talk about really, but we'll talk about the relationship a bit, how that can again have an effect on the game overall. Let me see what else we have here quickly. Anything else to address? He should be happy that he's enjoying his game time. Okay, that's a good one there. What again? He says. Fahim says Reece James has been overloaded and doesn't seem to get rotated as much as other players. You could argue that's one of the reasons why he got injured. But then again, he was, again, I think Potter managed his game time very well. He rested him when he should, I think. I'm not sure, again, it was going to happen anyway, given the way it happened. Again, that's my argument. Let's see what we have here from teacher again. Sorry, Kachila and Pane got some one at the door. Okay, yeah, that's important, bro. Again, anytime you want to come back in, you have the link. Matt, your thoughts on this? Reece James wanting to go to the World Cup. Do you think? I think Chelsea should block it, like Ty said. What do you think, really?
Well, yeah, big up, guys. Big up, coach. Big up, Ty. Big up, DJ.
Big
I
up
hope
to you
DJ
too,
comes
brother.
back. I haven't spoken to DJ in a while. Big up to DJ. I want to have a good chat to him. But Reece James, this World Cup timing is horrendous. I mean, never in my lifetime would I expect the World Cup to be in November. Now, for someone like me, where I'm living, it's actually a fantastic time. For holidays. It's getting near the Christmas time. It's summer for us. I'm loving this time, to be honest. But in terms of football, it's shocking. Right, we've got club football. We're playing 3 games a week, and now players are either going to be forced from injury, or
Mm-hmm.
like someone like Van Dijk, who was in jail from Liverpool, not going to play to their strength for excuse me, for club football to save themselves for the World Cup. So it's a balance on a scale which aren't equaling out. Now for Reece James' situation, Chelsea would want to force him back because of the World Cup situation. I don't think we should do that. Personally, as a international fan, I'm gonna have a bias that I don't care what happens to England. So I'm gonna say I don't want. Honestly, I wouldn't want no Chelsea players going to England. I would all want them still in Cobham training. But again, that's up to. And then obviously we have the English fans who would want him there so he can play and win them the World Cup. So it's 2 different sides to it, right? But I personally wouldn't play Reece James because I don't think he's fit. I think the injury is a very bad injury, and I do think he should be rested with high caution because we cannot get another injury in our team. Like this is our 4th, 5th major play with a major injury. What if he gets rushed back and then he gets injured the World Cup? He's gone for probably another 3-4 months. So I definitely would not send him. No way.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that really. Again, the beautiful game says, "Big up, brother. Thanks so much for finding the time to join." He calls him Sidegate. Has no regard for player welfare. Even having to dig at Potter for fielding him in that game, it's a no from me. We all know Reece will play every single minute of every single game as long as he's able to run. I think he will overplay him and then end up putting us in an even more difficult situation. But again, it depends on how Potter is English, so probably wouldn't mind and will allow him to go. But I think the club has every right to block that from happening. I hope we do that. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. Eddie, your thoughts quickly. Again, we have a few random topics I want us to talk about before we go into the match preview proper. In this case, there's Reece James, him himself wanting to go to the World Cup. I think it's just, you can say that exuberance in him, that eagerness in him, like Ty alluded to. He just wanted to go to his first World Cup. But again, maybe not considering that he's not fully fit and could go and have a stinker there. And it wouldn't make any sort of sense. Then he would regret going in the first place. But more importantly, the problem it's going to cost Chelsea is where I'm concerned. He's not fully fit. He hasn't recovered fully. Ahead of time thing doesn't really work for me. What do you think, Eddie? And big up to you, sir, first of all. Oh, he's gone, really. Okay, we're going to move to the next topic. I didn't even know when he moved on. Okay, here we have again. Manchester City have opened talks with Chelsea Academy striker Jude Susabel. Chelsea currently expected to lose their talented forward, who is regarded as a top talent. Charlie Webster could also leave Chelsea after refusing several contract offers. I think we're going to lose that. You could say that's set. I think you could say majority of them are actually bent on leaving. I don't know if they think they should be offered again a chance in the first team immediately. I don't know what's going on there, Ty. Your thoughts about the situation? Okay, it looks like awkward moments again. Matt, are you well acquainted with this situation here?
Yeah, I've heard about the situation. I mean,
Yeah.
On like we've for me, I never watched this Sunam Bell, who's regarded as a top talent, and Charlie Webster. I've heard the name, and obviously he's rejecting offers. Now, I don't have a big concern because I don't know much information about these players. I don't think this for us, for me, it's not a big talking point. I wouldn't highly discuss this because I don't have a clue. I don't watch these guys. I have no clue. Now, obviously, if they're playing in the Chelsea Academy, they must be good players, and if City have open talks. I mean, and sorry, if Webster has refused several contracts, he definitely wants a new challenge or a new team. He doesn't want Chelsea, so I will let him go on his way. Someone like Shuna Bell, again, no clue who he is, but if City have open talks, I highly believe he would rather choose City over us. But I don't think it's a big talking point because I don't know much about these players whatsoever.
Yeah, it looks like, I don't know. I think that's set. You could say you can count them at the same set. Maybe they're a bit younger than Tariq Lamptey and all this. Again, that said, that it looks like all of them, I don't know what sort of contract they are under, that it just seems as if it's easy for them to leave. But on the ground, Porter, you could say on the ground, Todd Bowley, now they're giving them a longer contract, will probably a contract structure that it's not going to be easy for them to leave. But again, I've accepted long time that we're not going to keep them all. It's as simple as that. If anybody wants to leave, let them just go. Again, the talents will still coming out, and I think we're signing even better talent at this point. We have better scouting department and all that. Big up to you two again. Josriel, I hope you're doing well. The queen of the house. Thanks so much for finding time to jump between. Ben Chilwell is injured, so Kukurea will start tomorrow. Most definitely. That's again, yeah. We're not except for play with a 3 at the back formation. Even at that, I think he still starts, but I think we'll play with a 4 at the back formation. Let's see again. JSV hype again kind of died out when he joined Chelsea. Okay, I don't know him that much. Maybe you know him better than we do, but again, it makes sense to me now. Thomas Tuchel is still talking about Chelsea. Yeah, again, that shows you how painful the whole thing again has been for him. But I tried to move on, but really, I can't.
We can't. I mean,
Yeah,
we knew he was
really.
him. I mean, we knew he was that guy. I think he was a phenomenal coach who had a phenomenal idea, but the board just wasn't having it, And obviously, Potter's still a fantastic manager, and we back him to the end. But Tuchel was a great manager for sure, and he definitely had a plan.
Yeah, and I understand all the explanations we've heard. I want to say the whole thing comes down to the ego of the new owners, not really about the relationship. Because hearing the story that if he gets again, he felt like they're pulling him into again unnecessarily into meetings he shouldn't get involved in. Like he sends his subordinate. That's not an issue. At least he has somebody representing him. And if you did your research, you should know that he's not into getting involved in the transfers and all that. He just wants to take care of the team, which is the modern structure of the team. The director of football and all that, the scouting department are the ones that should be taking care of those other things. The whole, again, all the nonsense we talked about. But that's, by the way, again, here we have the beautiful game. So the situation with Salah and KDB is very unlikely to happen again. So we should let them go and get as much cash again as we can get for them.
I hate this
They'd
argument.
actually
I really
be living
do.
on a
This
free one
KDB
day. Go
Salah.
ahead, Matt. You were saying something.
No, yeah, just this Salah and KDB argument. It's just really stupid. Like, people got to think logically. Like, yeah, we would never have this situation only unfolded is because they left. If KDB stayed at Chelsea, he could have been like Kai Havertz and be like a bum, you know. But he chose his path, and now he's one of the best midfielders in the world. So it happens by fate. It's not by choice. So
Yeah,
you know,
and sometimes we'll have
it's
to
not our
accept
fault that
that.
they become bad. Yeah, exactly. So
And KDB wanted to leave. It wasn't like we just decided to sell him. He wanted to leave. Again, he went out on loan at first and then decided he wanted to leave on the farm, and he did. And you could say the same thing as Salah. And most of these players, like Tariq Lamptey, he wanted to leave. The other one at Southampton, he wanted to leave. Matt Quaid, he wanted to leave. Again, assist finals in 1.5 year a season, plus all the nonsense, again, we put him through when the transfer, again, when the club sold and sanctions a conundrum were, those things were going on. He stayed. And I will never forget that comment that if it means driving the bus, he would drive it. And apparently the new owners don't care about that. I hope, again, the changes don't blow up on their face. I hope everything goes well. But if it doesn't, I'm going to be, although I can't do anything, but I'm going to be really, really pissed. Pick up, guys. Yes, smash the like button as you're coming in. Drop a like on the stream to help us reach more people. Thank you so much, guys. Again, and did you hear that, again, Jose Mourinho reached out wanting the job? I wouldn't be surprised if that happened, Maoko. I know, again, he's still come back to Chelsea someday. Believe me. Again, what's your final, again, for tomorrow? Exactly. You're just here to get that one. Stay. We'll get to the predictions soon. And this one, you could say naturally, again, it's a natural transition to the matchup preview proper. This is Joko saying that Chelsea are the most successful team in the country over the last 20 years. I still feel Chelsea can, again, do more than compete and go above Arsenal very soon. That is very possible, really. But does that really matter now, Matt? Does that matter at this point right now? That's just, again, if it is banter, yes, you can say, yes, we've achieved more than you, again, in the past 20 years. But right now, Arsenal, they are doing better than us.
yeah, I mean, Arsenal top of the table.
And 10 points clear off of us.
Yeah, I mean, people say, is Arsenal better than us? And I go, absolutely, because they're top of the table. Now, are they a better club in general? No, but they're better right now because they're top of the table. You know, I said if you're an Arsenal fan, you have every right to say that you're in the title run. For me personally, we were at this stage last season, and I was saying that we were going to win the league. But, yeah, obviously, wait, go back to that quote. Who was it by? Was it by Joe Cole? Who was it by?
Yeah, it was Joe Cole.
Yeah, Joe Cole. And yeah, he's not wrong. We are one of the most successful teams in the last 20 years. But Arsenal have their time now. But all I'm going to say is they're not going to have it for long. That's all you're going to say. Wait till we get a manager players. Wait till we get rid of some of these average players. And we'll be back on the top again. Don't worry.
Yeah, but again, that doesn't really matter now. We have a game to play. We have to win the game to, again, to make that make sense in any way. Because, yeah, again, now is all that matters. The past is the past, really. When it's banter, then those things can come into play. Ty, I don't know if you're ready to talk now. Should I go to Broja?
I'm cutting in and out because my wife.
Yeah, I understand you're probably busy. Your thoughts on
it's
Joe
not that
Cole?
I'm busy. It's just my Wi-Fi is cutting in and out.
Oh, okay, sorry to hear that. Again, the Joe Cole's comments. Again, I think it's irrelevant right now, really.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Did
you see it? You want to see it?
There's a news about Chilwell as well, but Joe Cole is saying what?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
to me that doesn't really matter right now. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean they have been more successful than Arsenal. That is the
nobody
case.
will take that away from us. But when they beat them tomorrow,
That's the thing. I personally, I'm not confident that we will beat them. I think we may draw. If we win them, I'd be happy if we do. But I right now, I just look at when I look at Arsenal right now. I know people are saying that they will get off their high horse eventually, but right now I'm seeing a great contrast between us and them. They can actually finish. We struggle to finish, and this is something that I've been seeing recently, and it's in our DNA. We don't really
Mhm.
start off most of the games well, whilst they start off their games very well. They're aggressive. They have great intensity, and that is how they score a lot of early goals. I mean, look, the Liverpool game is an example. They went from left to right, and in a matter of time, they were able to take the lead. So there's a lot of issues regarding Chelsea right now in terms of our intensity level. I mean, the way that we play, we grow into games. Well, Arsenal, they come at you from the first second of the game, and
Mhm.
it goes onwards from there. But our advantage we can probably use is the fact that they don't really stay the same for the full 90. They do have an issue where they slowly eventually slow down, and because of that, they start to look fatigued, and that is eventually when they start to make substitutions. So hopefully we can do that. But I do think that it's going to be a tough task. And we're going to have to hope that Aubameyang, who says that he has something to settle with Arsenal. Well, not Arsenal. He has something to settle in terms of the whole narrative. I guess in a sense we'll have to hope that he's on top of his game. But our attack needs to be at the highest level. Our defense needs to be at the highest level, and our
Mhm.
midfield selection has to be ideal as well.
Yeah, again, it makes sense. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat, and quickly, I want to get your thoughts, Roger, on what you think about Joko's comment. Again, to me, it's irrelevant. We have to win tomorrow, but I have reasons. We'll talk about that in the big fight. I think we're going to win that one. It's just, and again, heard that one too. Let's again, looks like I went back a bit. Coach, you now understand when I say it again, we will only get top four again through the back door. No, I understood what you mean. It just to me something else came to mind, but we're not going to get into that. It was just funny the way you said it that day. So I understood exactly what you meant when you said that, Brian. By the way, again, and nice to see you again. Yes, people hit the like button. We have 19 likes right now. Let's get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. And here again, it says Leonis is delighted to see Lewis Hall again brought into first team training, and we were only talking about him Thursday. Yes, I wasn't happy what happened on the Thomas Tuchel. He played a cup game, did quite well, and I'll never forget what he did on that day. Again, I'm glad he's part of the first team now. He's left-sided, right? He plays on the left-hand side, or both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So again,
he's
yeah. So
left-sided.
he can make up the
Left
numbers. Yeah,
side.
probably. Yeah, and probably get a chance to play. We're pretty much underdogs tomorrow, which is kind of mad. Again, yeah, it hasn't been so for a while, and because we're underdogs, that's why I think. Let me just say, at least we'll get a good result. The worst that could happen tomorrow will be a draw. Usually, if we say Arsenal are losing a game, they've lost a million game, and the next game they have to play is Chelsea, which will again most people will be hoping will be a million and one losses for Arsenal. That's when we end up losing. But now the again topping us by 10 points, I'm sure the players will be pissed even at that alone. I'm sure they will respect them. They know how good they are. They know that you have to be 150% to get the result out of that game. So again, the underdog mentality, I think it's one thing that's going to help us again get a good result tomorrow. Because I will be okay with a draw, but if you win, yes, again, you could say it's a season-defining game overall. It's a season-defining game. That's how I see it. To me, I was just going to move on from this Jacol comment. I think it's irrelevant at this point, really. Yeah, we're pretty much underdogs. Again, we always play well when we are underdogs. To me, that translates to that you could say charity FC mentality. When you think it's more for mop the floor with a team, we end up losing. But when the big boys come into town, we play very well. So yeah, start Gallagher and Jorginho in midfield. Okay, if that's what you think will work. Omar Farouk, thank you so much. Nice to see you here. If you haven't Drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. If we do not play with intensity, we are losing that game. It will be a carbon copy of the Brighton game. They play with high intensity. They under
100%.
Arteta. It's not about slowing it down. Again, it's high octane football from them like this. It takes them a second to get to your 18-yard box. The moment they get at the ball, they don't just pass it around like most teams do. Let's see what else we have. Anything else to address? I don't think there's anything else to address. I'll keep highlighting the comments. Again, Arsenal trashed us in preseason. Again, the players needed to get fired up for the revenge, and hopefully that will make them feel like it will happen again. Again, Mario Trick says Lewis Hall made his debut last year, right? Yep, in a cup game where he made a mistake, followed up with a mistake, corrected it, and again, assisted. I think he assisted. Correct me if I'm wrong. He assisted Marcos Alonso also, but he had an assist in that game from correcting his mistake to make turning it into an assist. We are gonna lose again. Well, it's your opinion, but I have my reasons why I think we're gonna win that one. Lamata says no Chilwell, no James, no Kante, maybe no Kepa. If they lose to us tomorrow, it will begin their decline from top table. Again, I used to say they don't have the depth, but the truth is they have the spirit. And with the spirit, you can actually do anything you want, honestly. Adiam, again, Roger, let me come to you quickly. The question I want to ask is this. You could say this is a season-defining moment for both teams. Again, if Arsenal win, to them, they can feel like, yeah, they can actually win the league. I know right now they still feel the same. Well, yeah, it's too early, but if they beat us practically at home, you can say they're going to go ahead and win it. And if we win, we'll cut the points again, the gap by 3 points. Now they are topping us by 10 points, and that's not easy. So to you, what do you think? Is it a season-defining game, or do you think whoever wins, it doesn't change anything?
Firstly, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning to you too. Again, pardon my bad manners.
Not at all, sir. I understand where you're coming from for a season defining, but I think it's too premature to say that. It's too early in the season. Mathematically, there's a long way to go. I mean, we've got 2/3 of the season left post World Cup, basically. So, no, I don't view it as such. Well, listen, we've been somewhat decimated by injuries, and that can transpire for any other team. I think our goal should be realistic to make it to the top 4. Possible, yes, we could win it, but I doubt it. But I think at the very least, very minimum, we have to make top 4. I think the ramifications of not doing so will be quite substantial, monetarily speaking, and other aspects. I don't think it would bode us well if that doesn't transpire. But I think it's way too early. We haven't played hardly anyone, We played Spurs, I admit that. We haven't played United. We haven't played City. So, no, we haven't played Newcastle either, if I'm not mistaken. So, and they're in the mix too, even though I don't think they have quite the depth in squad yet. But I still, fear them to a certain extent. But let's see what transpires. If we get all our players back in the next couple of months and we're reasonably healthy, I think we can go far. But that all depends on also the management. When I say management, I'm talking about coaches. How we settle in, Do we continue to flex and alternate in formations, or do we find the 1 or 2 formations that suits us and we can go forward winning, be more successful? That is yet to be determined. So there's a lot to prognosticate about. So it's way too early, in my opinion. And look, its tenure is so early. It's in its infancy stages. So it's too premature.
Really? DJ, do you feel the same? Again, before being truthful now, they are 10 points ahead of us. If we lose this one, they will be 13 points ahead of us because, again, we played 12 games and they played 12 games too. 13 points. Again, the way they're playing, like I said, they may not have the depth at this point. They have the spirit, and with the spirit, you can move mountain. In January is coming, they will still sign some good, even more players. Your thoughts, DJ? I understand your argument quite well, Roger. But DJ, what do you think? Really, that's why to me this is a must-win game for us. I know a draw would be good, but if we can win, even better.
Yeah, listen, I agree with what Roger's saying and what Ty said before that. Everyone's comments, even Matt as well earlier on as well. I think tomorrow, I won't call tomorrow a defiant game, Coach. I mean, for me, it's going to be a game of if we are. I'll be honest with you, we are the underdogs tomorrow, even though we are at Stamford Bridge, because of the way things have been going at the moment. If Arsenal can't beat this team that we are with the amount of injuries that we've got in our team, they'll never beat us. And people can talk about they smashed us in pre-season.
Are you making an excuse?
No, I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying if they can't, because if you think about our injuries, I mean, I'm not saying no team in the Premiership hasn't got bad injuries, right? If you look at ours, from Reece James to Chilwell, then before those, obviously before James before Chilwell, we had Kante and James out. Now we've got Chilwell out of the game tomorrow. So how long he's going to be out for? We are a situation where we are going through what I call it a crippling time with injuries. But
Indeed.
I still think though, being a Chelsea fan, and always against Arsenal, always optimistic and thinking we can still go into this game because we are at Stamford Bridge and we are at home advantage. We should still go out there and win it because I think for me, against any game against Arsenal, for me, we have to do them. Because at the moment, Arsenal at this moment in time are going through a honeymoon period where it reminds me a little bit of when Jose Mourinho first came to Chelsea. And he started winning games, and we end up winning titles. The difference is with this situation is Arsenal have not won titles yet under Arteta. They're just beginning their increase of where they want to be. So but like I said, injuries it does play a point in this game tomorrow. But I'm still confident we can do it. And for me, I saw one of the comments earlier on saying Gallagher needs to start alongside Jorginho. For me, Dennis Zakaria needs to start this game tomorrow. I thought the guy was excellent in midweek.
I feel the same, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
So he needs to start. So for me, tomorrow, yeah, I think we can still do it, but it's just going to be a tough game. But I'm going on to what Joe Cole said earlier on as well. The guy's a Chelsea fan. Of course, he's going to come out and say this, and you can understand why he's saying, because I think a lot of people have been knocking us. In the media, a lot of people are saying Arsenal have got a better team. I think they were doing a thing on TalkSport where they were saying about the best 11 Arsenal between Chelsea's best 11 and Arsenal's best 11, who gets in the team. And Mr. Jamie O'Hara, who's a massive Tottenham fan, only chose one Chelsea player, and that was Thiago Silva. He goes, the rest is all Arsenal players. So in that kind of way, I can understand why people like Joe Cole are saying what they're saying.
No, so for me, that is performance. Do you blame him really?
No, look, at the end of the day, Kachila, I get what you're saying in terms of, Arsenal are performing at this moment in time. But let's be honest, mate. Yeah, people talk about Aubameyang's goal drought. For me, Jesus hasn't scored in 8 games. Am I right? Correct in saying the stat has gone around in 6 or 8 games? Am I right in saying that? He's not scored a goal?
Yeah,
tomorrow could be the day he may change that. But then Aubameyang made the same tomorrow. So, for me, it's like, this is why I'm saying I'm not going to write this game. I still think we can win. It'll be a tough game, but it'll be. I still think Chelsea can do it.
Yeah, I still think we can. I understand your point, and I was going to say, ask you your ID if you don't support again, Roger. I've noticed that you and him are always aligned in terms of your opinions of contributions. But I know where I'm going to get something different. Hopefully so. I hope he doesn't start, but I can understand where DJ and Roger are coming from. I'm going to go to my brother again. Bobby, how are you doing? Big up to you, and thanks for finding the time to join us this Saturday morning. Your thoughts, Bobby? Is this to you again a season-defining moment for us? Even if it isn't for Arsenal, I think it is for us. We have to win this game again to cut the points to 7 points. If they win us, even the draw won't be good enough. They'll be 13 points ahead of us. That's like losing how many games? 1, 2, 3, 3 games plus. Again, the way they're playing, they have the spirit. I know they're Arsenal. I know it'd be easy to again just say, yeah, they're gonna drop points anyway because we hate them. But I want to get your thoughts, Bobby.
Hi guys. Hi, morning.
Hi to you too, brother.
Yeah, I have a slightly very varied way of looking at this game, but I understand what you're saying. Season defining, I think, is strong, but it's not irrelevant because of how the situation is at the moment.
Mhm.
Um, I look at this game in several ways. I think it's very laughable how Chelsea do not address their squad. We've done this over the past, what, I would say, since we came out of the transfer ban. We do
Mhm.
not adequately address our squad. This is the only season we have had perhaps an excuse because new owners came in. The scale of the job to rebuild was very, very large. And they
Okay.
did quite well over the period of time that they had to get used to the market, get used to doing the dealings, and bring in the players that were available for them to capture. Um, I think Thomas Tuchel is an excellent tactician. I think he's not a good squad builder. I continue to this day say that the sending of Dejan Sterling out on loan when he experienced the exact same thing we are experiencing this season in the loss of both Chilwell and James is nothing short of rank stupidity, absolute stupidity. We addressed the Chilwell situation at the left back with Cucurella, which was right, the correct thing to do, and then we stupidly thought that we are addressing the situation with Reece James by extending Aspie's contract. Now it's questionable whether it's stupid to extend Aspie's contract, but I think it was stupid to get rid of the replacement, or rather the rotation, which we would have probably been getting the benefits out of, and he would have certainly been getting the benefits out of in Dejan Sterling. But to today's game, yes, we're underdogs, 100%, 100%, because of the injuries, which we were here, we've been here before. We know this. We know this. We know Kante's injury record. We anticipated what could happen on the left, and we know what can happen on the right. Reece James isn't going to play every single game. There's going to be injuries, suspensions, and what have you. But being the foolishness that we are, we prepare ourselves for defeat rather than prepare ourselves for victory. Tomorrow, as far as I'm concerned, is all about Graham Potter. 100% about Graham Potter.
Okay.
This is a time he earns his stripes as a coach. Why do we say this? He's just got here. I say this because he's in a unique situation. I say this because he's more experienced than Arteta. And I say this because he's used to dealing with for want of a better word, lower league club who understand. Excuse me. Sorry, I have a horrible cold at the moment.
No, we're starting to hear that.
Who understand what it means to play good rear guard, good counter attack, and to be able to play off the back foot. Now, if he doesn't show his tactical superiority to Arteta tomorrow, I will have some concerns. Because though the squad is weak, with the loss of these players, there are options for him to play in such a way that he will be hard to beat and that he could hit them on the break and hurt them. This has to be what he's looking at. And if he's not looking at that, I'll have some concerns about him. We all know how Arsenal control the game through the midfield and how they're very fast and they will try and press you high. Excuse me, sorry. There's no secrets there, no secrets. Now it's his job to counter that. Now I've sat here in my layman's position, And I've seen exactly what has to be done. Now, it's up to him with the players he has that he coaches and manages to execute that. That's why he's there. So my entire focus is on him. We've now seen what Zakaria can do. I hope he's fit enough. It seems either he left with cramp and exhaustion against Zagreb, which I wasn't too happy about, but it is what it is. He's not fully fit, apparently, but it's okay. If he plays some minutes, it's better than no minutes. Everybody's talking about a flat back four. Okay, fine. Maybe we don't have a choice there, but we've got to play with left and right backs that are capable of floating into supporting the midfield. Fine. I think Chalobah is a slight concern because he's played twice a week for some time. But we're going to have to use him in this game. And I would use him as right back with Cucurella left back, and clearly our centre
Yeah,
backs have
we'll
to
get
be
into that in a bit. But so overall, for
exactly.
you think it's going to be to you? It's not. It's to you. It's not season defining. To you, it's just about seeing how again whether
Well,
Potter comes out on top.
I was coming to that. It
Okay.
is season defining because we cannot lose. We cannot lose, and we should not draw. So it is season defining. Potter has to stand up to be counted. Yes, I'm not saying Potter out, nothing like no. Yes, I'm saying he needs longevity, but now he's playing with the big boys. Failure is not an option at Chelsea. Neither is finishing outside the top four. So whatever learning, whatever settling in you are doing, you must be in that top four. That's why you're there with the elite club and you're playing the position of an elite manager. He
Yeah.
has to be counted. This is all eyes on him. Not to get rid of him, but for us to understand whether truly he's capable or not. Simple.
Yeah, and go quickly again. I'm going to highlight this comment. In some comments, I'll highlight them. I will not read them immediately. So we'll talk about them later. We'll start reviewing again the match. The next question will be coming in a bit. Auba has to turn up tomorrow, especially after that video. He's made it again. I wouldn't say he's made it all about him, but from his own from Auba's perspective, it's about him and Arteta, showing Arteta, look at what you're missing. But that remains to be seen whether that again you could say. Whether Potter will be under the influence of starting Auba, even when I think again Broja is again can do better or find a way to accommodate them both. Maybe Potter will still be under the influence of thinking maybe Auba has something to prove, so he has to start. But we'll get into that in a bit. Got killed by Arsenal and City next week. We'll see what happens again. All on paper. Those are two games everyone thinks we're going to lose. That's why I think we'll win them both, or maybe do well in both. Unfortunately, it looks like the academy has had its day. Bali is moving the direction of Leao Nkunku, Trossard. Because he wants again to put again. You could say the team in good condition to win. Remember, we signed also some young players, and we're still looking at some young players, and we brought in again some of the biggest names in the league who signed some of the young players. Some of the players we're looking at. So we've laid the foundation for that. You could say that the young players that are leaving now has nothing to do with what's his name, has nothing to do with Todd Bowley. No, the new signings is bringing in. They're all on a long-term contract, 6 to 7 years contract, and I don't know how things was handled. How things were handled under the previous ownership, that a lot of these young players even have the opportunity to have just a year left on their contract. And now, they're better position to say, okay, give me, a first team, give me a path show me a path to the first team or I'll leave. So, but we're not going to get into that anyway, again, but I get your argument. Enough, again, panel members are for 5-a-side team plus the coach. Yeah, thank you again. That makes it enjoyable. Again, a good, you can say varying opinions. Again, quite a lot to learn from there. We need to lower our expectations, coach. We're still, again, in the building phase. We all know that. Roger, and curious, again, to pick your brain on where we end up, again, I'll highlight this one, so we'll talk about it later. And unfortunately, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom of the comment, and I'll try to get them one by one when time allows. I'm going to come back to the panel now. Let me start with you, Ty. Ty, are you there? Okay, let me just start with Roger. Ty, when you come back, I'll know. Roger, I'm going to come with you. Roger, make a case again of. I'd like you to make a case for what's his name, Aubameyang to start over. Aubameyang to start over Broja, or Broja to start over Aubameyang, whichever one you think you want to see happen. Can you make a case for that?
Sure. Traditionally, I would like to, or historically, I would prefer Broja to develop and play more. However, if you listen to most professionals, especially former professionals, they will always say that when they go back to their former team playing against them, they have something to prove, something extra to prove, to say, why did you get rid of me? Especially if it's, let's just say, an acrimonious departure. You know, it wasn't a smooth ending to their relationship. So I can see Aubameyang, Pierre-Emerick wanting to try 110% more, which ponders the question, why don't you play with that attitude each and every minute of every other game? But having said that, this is fueling his inner self. I think it's a good motivating factor for him to score against them. I think there's some vitriol there. I think there's some bad blood, shall we say. So I think there's a lot of disdain that Pierre-Emerick has towards Arsenal. No, but this is a motivating factor for him. So I think this will fuel Pierre-Emerick to perform.
So you're making a case for him to start.
It could fuel him to the extent, you know, when you... Well, not traditionally, but in this case, yes. However, sometimes when you try too hard, like you look at Conor Gallagher, his first start, he tried too hard and it bit him in the you-know-where, the gluteus maximus. But I believe because Pierre-Emerick is a seasoned and veteran player, I think he will know how to moderate his passion. You know, so I think he will do well. I'd like to see him start and see what it's about. If he does not, shall we say, produce the goods, I'm not just talking about scoring. You know, like if you look at like a Werner didn't score that much, but it's what he did off the ball or how he created lanes, his runs and so forth.
Yeah,
it's the
his
same
big
for
runs, his industry and all that.
Exactly. If Pierre-Emerick can do that by either assisting or doing stuff off the ball, you know, when we have possession, or creating, and or when we're in defense, if he can press, etc., then I don't mind. You know, just because you score, like you look at Jesus hasn't scored in the last 7-8 games, but he's actually contributed immensely to their team's success. You know, that stats don't show. So I'm not a big believer in stats to a certain extent. So if he can, let's just say, have a value add to the game, to our side, then I'm all for it. I think this is a huge motivating factor. And if that doesn't transpire after the game, then I think going forward, it should be Broja all the way. Because I'm not a big advocate or fan for Pierre-Emerick, but I think this would be the exception to the rule for me.
Yeah, just quickly, I'm going to get Bobby's choice up again. It's always better to be the underdogs. Yeah, and then again, less pressure. Again, the pressure will be more on the big boys, or you could say the guys that people expect to win on paper or otherwise, however you want to see it. And here again, Daniel Gassia says that living in the past, it's like, again, we bring back the invisibles to the conversation and comparing teams. Now this Arsenal is coming back to the top. It took time, but they built something special. But that, again, we can do that. We can find a way to catch up as quickly as possible. But again, a lot of work needs to be done. But I think, like I said, I have the reasons why I say I think we're going to do well in that one. Good morning to you too. I hope you're all doing well. Please remember to like and share the stream and subscribe. Please, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, I hope we win tomorrow. I hope so too. Let me see what we're saying here. And I think we will do well against Arsenal. We always seem to get the better of them when they are in great form. Yep, but when they are underperforming and we are doing well, they get the better of us. So it does go both ways. Arteta has been again with his team for 3 years and learned all the ins and outs. Porter been with his team less than 3 months, and we compare. I don't think we have actually compared them necessarily. We're just saying comparing them from the perspective of what the team we have, what we can do with it, and what we cannot do with it. I think that has been the argument from the panelists so far. But limitless, first of all, I hope you're doing well. 4-5 points is information I would like to see tomorrow, because our current situation cannot believe they didn't take the injury trend with Chilwell and Reece. Okay, the team is nowhere near. No, it's not what we think they are. If we're being truthful to ourselves, I don't think we are. And what's up to my brother, True City fan? Looking forward to our collab soon. I hope you're doing well, brother. Thank you so much for finding the time to stop by and say hello. Aubameyang will turn up tomorrow. I believe he's going to give us a beat of the old Auba. I hope to see that happen tomorrow. Cannot say again for long. I have to go. Okay, we'll talk soon. Coach, again, sent you an update. Yes, I will talk about in a bit, and thank you so much for that. Let me see what we have here. Peace. Everyone speaks soon. Yeah, again, family comes first, brother, and I totally understand. All the stats all day long. After all, again, look what Nketa did to us. So you want somebody to to do something again to them in return. So let's see what happens. Watch Jesus score tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised.
Scoring.
And if he doesn't score, fine, but I would not be surprised. It's a Chelsea thing. A player that hasn't scored in a million games gets to score against us. Ty, I'll come back to you in a bit. Charity FC, I know that, again, that was why you said that. And Kimso, hello to you too. Nice to see you again. Let me see anything else. You need quirky people in your team when you are the favorite team. Again, when you are the favorite. Team players shrink when favored. Yep. Thank you, Real Game, for saying that. If Jesus scores, I will riot. I am expecting a big game from Alba after all this talk, 2 goals minimum. I hope it happens, Kim. So I trust you every time you say a player scores. I think it happens. Let's be positive, guys. Again, we go all out for that win. It's Arsenal, and we are the underdogs. That's a good thing right now. Again, let's see, and let's not jinx it by talking about it too much, really. Underdog this and that. Again, at this moment, they are better than us. Yeah, that still means we're underdog. It's still the same thing. We just hope our team shows up tomorrow. I think for me, the whole thing comes down to Graham Potter's selection. The structure he decides to go with and the personnel again. But we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to come to you, Bobby. Broja or Aubameyang, your choice. Again, make your case for your choice. Let's see, probably still, again, trying to unmute his phone. Whenever he's ready, I'll let him go. Exactly, again, a limitless. Bobby, let me know if you're ready, or maybe I'll just go to Ty. Okay, Ty, make your choice again and make a case for your choice. All right, okay, everybody's deserting the show. This is so weird. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we have here. And Ty was talking a second ago. The moment I called upon him, he's on mute. I think we will win this match. Again, Real One against Sajitha. Real One, again, hi to you too. I hope you're doing well. But Roger, let me come back to you. 2 players I want to talk about. Do you think Mount and Gallagher starts at the same time? I think it will be one of them. And if it is one of them, who? Please make your case for the person in question.
I think it's going to be one also. It depends on the formation, but I believe it's going to be one. I think it's going to be Mount, probably. But I wouldn't be surprised if he uses 2. You know, I've given up trying to predict what this Potter chap will do. He's predictably unpredictable. But he's done it in the past. But he's also done it in the past where he's only played one of them, predominantly, by the way. So I think that may continue. It looks like, I don't know. Mount played a lot more than Connor did recently, so who knows? But I'd like to see a 4-3-3 formation personally, and I thought I'd like to see in midfield. I probably, yeah, Mount could play in the midfield, or he could play on a wide right up front. But I don't know. I'm trying to think how he would play both of them together. It's possible, maybe a 4-2-3-1, possibly. But other than that, there's a good chance that he'll play with a back three, which I hope he doesn't. But let's see. No,
if he plays, I think it will be a huge risk. Even if Zakaria start, because he's shown his quick, he read again. I watched the game again. He reads the game and he reads the danger quite well, and is able. On one occasion, he had to sprint from the midfield area to come help the defense. Because who was it? I forgot who it was. I was facing again. The Zagreb player was facing our defense, and all he had to do was to beat them and take a shot. And Zakaria did sprint from the midfield area to our close to our 18-yard box to stop that player from again doing the damage against us. So again, even if he starts him in the back three, it's still too risky. I'd rather also go with the back four, where you have a structure again, two center backs with the right back and left back with the full backs again, and the center back, one of the center backs and the full backs can double up on whoever again becomes problematic for our defense, either on the left or on the right. So exactly. Again, yeah, it makes. I think
exactly.
But let's start by answering this question: What type of structure do you think he goes with? Do you think he goes with again a 4 at the back structure or a 3 at the back? Really, because let's talk about that. And I want to ask those in the chat. I think I will use a poll. I will do that in a bit. But you go ahead.
I think I've got a greater chance of picking the next lotto number winners than I have picking his formation, coach.
No, but give it a shot, really. Give it a shot. What do you think he does?
So the 1 in a million shot, basically.
Give it a shot.
I hope he goes with a 4-3-3. I know you're smitten with a 4-2-3-1, but a 4-3-3. We need to take control of the midfield. I'd like to see Jorginho,
we could still do that with
Kova,
a 4-3-1 formation, really.
In that.
Yeah, but go ahead. Go ahead with what you're saying.
No, a 4-3. I know what you're saying. Yeah. So I'd like that 3 to be those 3, and then the 3 up front. Who knows? I think he's going to start Sterling, shockingly, and Aubameyang, and probably Mount. The back 4. I have no idea. I don't think he starts Silva and Cooley together, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think he's going to probably start Silva and Chalobah. And I wouldn't mind seeing Chalobah as a right back. You know that, with Koulibaly and
I think it can work. I think he has the attribute to be able to fulfill that role. Again, you could say
yes.
A right back isn't really that much difference from playing in the right center back position. You're still positioned in the right hand side because it's all about the space he has to his right to operate. That's how I see it.
Going forward.
Yeah, exactly. So again, he does go. So I think he's able to fulfill that role, except there's going to be too much more running in this time.
Yeah, and not just that. Does he have the ability to create good crosses?
Yeah, he again.
Going forward,
he has a good shot in him too.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about his creativity with crosses. I don't know. I rate him highly, Chalobah. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to be misconstrued here. I think he's an excellent player. I would like to see him, or we could go with Aspie, But if we're facing, Zakaria, sorry, Zaka, what's his name? For Arsenal, I forgot his name. Anyway, the left-footed chap. He may have Aspie could have a problem with his speed. That's the only thing that scares me.
Who?
The Arsenal. He's the winger.
Are you talking about
for
Saka?
England.
Bukayo Saka.
No, No, not Granit Xhaka, not at all. I forgot his name.
No, Saka,
Young,
Bukayo Saka.
yeah, Bukayo. Yeah, him. So his speed worries me. So maybe Aspie would have issues with that. That's the only thing that I'm thinking of. But other than that, either Aspie or Chalobah on the right, and on the left we've got no choice. We could play Cucurella there, or we could have Aspie on the left. He's done that before. In that regard, he's quite flexible in that regard. So we've got options everywhere. That's the good thing. But we can't afford any more injuries in the back. We just can't. It's simple as that.
Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. It looks like it's just you and I at this point. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream. Again, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We have 37 likes. Let's try to get it to 50 likes as soon as possible. Again, and I want to ask people if they want us to do the predicted lineup. I think we should at this point. I think it will make again less boring since it's just you and I. Let's get the likes up, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, yes, thank you, people. We have 38 likes. We can do better than that, so let's keep it going. And here we have again. If we cannot finish our chances, we will win again. If we can, so to speak, finish our chances, we will win this game because we will get the chances and tapping as to again, it's just like playing against something that's playing against Liverpool. You will get your chances, but you really do have to put away your chances when they come. Otherwise, they will punish you again for not doing so. Yes, again, I'm good. Okay, thank you so much again for saying that. This game gives me Man U vibes. Again, I smell a draw. Even that, again, to me, I take it, but I still think we'll win 2-1. And you know why I said that. Again, Aubameyang's first time he plays against Arsenal, former club. So it's huge for them. Huge again for him too, and huge for us too. Again, this game is just important to everyone involved, the club, the fans, everyone, the manager. Again, show us you can do something with what you have. Let me see what we have again. 4-3-3 says real gems. I think it's less likely to be more likely to be a 4-2-3-1. That's not because I'm obsessed with that approach. There's another one actually, which they're saying, which was what we played. I think is it 4-2-1? Is it one? I'll look at it again. The structure in a bit. Let me see again. We will have to ask Dr. Fate for all the possibilities against Arsenal. Maybe again, Zakaria, RLC, and Gallagher in the midfield. Okay, in the 4-3-3 against structure. Again, that makes sense. But I don't think it will be 4-3-3. Please, again, let's not play Kai anywhere else than a 10. If Porter decides to start him, Roger, can you talk about that? Again, he was good to watch in that number 10 role. He created 2 delicious chances for your cousins, Raheem Sterling, and plus his overall, again, you could say overall performance was good in the game against Zagreb. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought he had probably his best game of the season with regards to how he played, how he flowed. He was playing a lot of, shall we say, trick passes and so forth. Looks like he was having fun. A lot of Johan Cruyff moves. Had you noticed that his pass, especially to the one that Sterling missed. That beautiful he whipped in that cross from the left side. I didn't expect that pass, and
because he saw him, even though there were players covering Sterling. It was perfectly weighted, perfectly timed. Everything about that pass was delicious. But maybe Sterling didn't expect it. I don't know, but it was a miss. But go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, it was sumptuous. He's such a technical and talented player. That's why they call him the silky smooth German, right? He's very silky. So I thought he did well. He excelled. He looked like he was playing and having fun. That's the first time I've seen him do that in a long while, if at all. I rate him highly. So that would be Pierre-Emerick, Kai, and Mount going forward, or Sterling. And then have Mount in the mid instead of Kova. I don't know. That lineup that we played recently was actually not a bad lineup. Could that work against a team like Arsenal in the Premier League? Possibly. Why not?
Probably. Not really. In the midfield area,
Why?
you can say we should keep the
4-3-3?
midfield area the way. But Kovacic now, and let me ask you this: Kovacic over Zakaria, make a case for either of the players that you think will start in the midfield, because Jorginho will most definitely play this game. Really?
Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption. So you're looking at, let's say, if we play three in the midfield, it's either going to be, I think it depends on Kova's knee. Yes, so it all depends if he's healthy. Let's assume he's healthy. So then it's going to be Kova, Jorginho, and maybe Zakaria or Mount. That's not bad three, you know. I think Kova's an excellent player. He progresses the ball well. He turns on the ball very well, you know. But I understand the level of competition in our last game, but I was so impressed with Zakaria. I watched the game a second time. He
The
was
ball recovery rate again, and his pace, everything, his ability to read the game, those things move me.
And his
To me,
size.
he fights too.
And for his size, a person that big, for a person
I
that
think
big
we
to
need
move,
them.
and he's technical. You know, I was impressed with him, even more so watching it a second time. You know, I really was. And I'm not talking about his goal. Forget about the goal. Let's say that didn't transpire. I'm just talking about his overall industry, his production. He was excellent. Him actually scoring, that's a cherry on the icing of the cake. That I'm not judging him by that. I'm just talking about how he performed throughout his time on the pitch. How many minutes was it? 70-something minutes? I thought he played very well. He was excellent. I wouldn't mind seeing him with Jorginho and Kova. I think that would be a solid three. What do you think? No?
If you add again, I know you're Smith and the 4-3-3 approach, but he hasn't done that to me.
No, I know.
I think it would be a good one if it is 4-3-3. But let me catch up with the chat. I'll come back to the final.
Coach, just 1 second. That last game was basically a 4-3-3. It wasn't a 4-2-3-1 because you saw Mount in the midfield more often than not. It was, you know, do you understand? And when you looked at when we were pressing up front, it was Pierre-Emerick, it was Kai, and it was Sterling. There was no Mount up front for the most part. He was in the midfield.
Yes, then the truth remains. Mount
for the majority of the game, it was a 4-3-3. Yes.
Not really. You could say it's a 4-3-1-2 because again, Kai played mainly as a 10, while Aubameyang and
but that's in.
Yeah.
Sure, but that 1-2 is a subset of a 4-3-3. It's just a small, shall we say, delineation of that. That's all it is. It's a small subset. It's basically a 4-3-3. You know, I understand what you're saying, but for all intents and purposes, when you looked at the players on the pitch, invariably they were pressing together, and when we didn't have the ball, I saw Mount in the midfield all the time with the other two. Do you understand? That's why you didn't see Mount that much pressing. It was always Pierre-Emerick, it was Kai, it was Sterling. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and also it does seem as if Zakaria was a bit too on the left and not
centrally. He was. Yeah, he was more so on the left.
But again, the whole thing is again at least a four at the back structure will be better suited for that Arsenal game. Football aside, and watch again. Black Adam, guys. Again, it is. Yeah, I know you're into superheroes. That's why you have. Again, this one is from the boys on the screen. I know it's a good movie. Again, Kova, again, good show, so to speak. J5, Zakaria midfield. We'll get into that in a bit. I think a starting Kova and Dennis, it can be very again effective against Arsenal tomorrow because we can beat them with physicality again because they don't have a very physical side. You think? Wait until you face Partey. Here's the thing. I think playing Kova makes sense. We have to find the balance of having Kova who's capable of playing if oppositions press us, like I know Arsenal will press us. So Kova is important, Zakaria is important, but it's hard to figure out who starts, really. Again, we have 44 likes. Let's try to get it to 50 as soon as possible. I think we can actually get it to 100 likes by the time the show ends today. To clarify, Coach, our Academy products and Keita scored a brace against. Yeah, I remember that. Again, I know you, and I understood what you were saying about that. So it's about time somebody that played for them, that's now playing for us, score against them. Correct me. That was how I understood your comment. Scored a brace against us. So I expect nothing less from our number 9. Yep, I understood that, and I did say explain then again. Anyhow, again, at the back it needs to be 4. As simple as that. At the back, Silva, Koulibaly, Cucurella at the back. Yep, it makes sense again with Trevor Chalobah playing in the right back area. It makes a good sense, but we'll see what Potter does tomorrow. It's again like Roger said, Potter is unpredictable. So yeah, that's what it is. So Aubameyang on the right, Broja and Sterling. We'll see. We'll look at it. I'll bring it up in a bit. Chilwell, he will not play in the World Cup. Yep. Again, that's a quick update there. The club also released a statement, and again, I got an update from Jacques Viola and also Liam Lane regarding that. The Chilwell has been ruled out of the World Cup. Yep. Thank you so much for the update. Your back voice, Kuku, Koulibaly, Silva, Chalobah. Yep, Chalobah to the right. That's what I expect to see. But there's a chance, again, Potter might decide to be more economical, not to have the two of Koulibaly and Silva on the pitch at the same time, in case, again, so we don't, you could say, burn them out and then play Cesar Azpilicueta to the right. That's a chance that happens. Let's see what we have here again. Martinelli, yeah, again, Chelsea beat Arsenal yesterday. A youth game, you're saying, or what game are you talking about? Well, I'll look at it in a bit. Again, Saka is injured. No, I think he's, again, they say he's going to start. We'll win. I want to see that happen. Let's see what we have here. Coachella, again, have you ever, again, think about it, given one of us, again, in the chat, a chance to be on the panel, maybe one per week? I can accommodate this, again. At least 6. We'll stop at 6. But if you want to be on the panel, you let me know. I'll send you the link. It's as simple as that. You don't need no voting is needed or anything. My forward, Havertz, Mount, and Alba, we'll get to that in a bit. So I'm going to, again, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Silva. Okay. I'm going to skip quite a few. There's a lot to read, and I cannot really read everything. Let's see. Anything else serious to address here? It says, again, J5 can be our creator. To be honest, if Zakaria can protect the defense, J5 can, again, spring the ball. So, yeah, he has some good passes in him. Just do it consistently. That's all I ask of him. 45 likes at this point. People, comment if you haven't. Take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. Again, I believe that. Again, it tells you a lot when the Chelsea website puts out, again, a montage of all Zakaria's touches. J5 was so confident, again, in him. He played a bit like Cesc Fabregas. Yes, it makes sense because, again, it's a good idea, really, to have somebody who's defensively minded. I know Potter don't do that, but he has to change. Yes, again, it was a 4-3-1-2. That was what I was thinking it was. Yeah. So, again, which means more like the 4-3-3, again, that makes you happy, Roger, if you want to take that. So, but that's, by the way, Roger, again, let's go into building the lineup proper. And I'm going to skip quite a few. My apologies in advance. I can't read everything. Arsenal will win the midfield and control the game. Mark Taylor says, we'll see. And God of Fraud says, again, need to sell Ruben Loftus-Cheek in the summer, get rid of the Deadwood. I'm not going to start that Deadwood campaign again. Let's do well first. And we'll start talking about selling players that, again, that has something to offer. Good day, people. Good day to you too. Supreme Quads. Anybody else I haven't said hello to? Here again, Wasp. Again, Alba, first squad. Maybe. We don't know, but we'll see what happens. Then I'm going to scroll to the very, very bottom. Kepa is on the bench. Mendy is on the pitch. Do you guys remember he misses the ball when, again, RMD versus Chelsea match? I'm not sure what you're referring to. Big up everyone and hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much, guys. We have 45 likes. We can do better than that. Let's keep it going. Here we have, again, if Alba scores against Arsenal, he will do his celebration most likely, most definitely, and I hope he scores. Loftus-Cheek needs to add goals. Again, then play him further forward. He's not a 6, really. Again, he's a victim of his own versatility. And that's, by the way, I'm going to come back to the panel. Let's start building it immediately. let's get on to it, people. But again, please take a second, like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much. A second here. This just melts my heart. But again, I'm not going to say it on here. So now let's see what we're looking at here. We said, who starts? Petr Cech starts in goal. What do you think, Roger?
Yeah, why not? Of course, Mendy.
Most definitely. Again, it's going to be Mendy. We heard from the manager himself that again, Kepa isn't doing. Again, he hasn't. He's still out. He's not going to be part of the squad. Just quickly, Roger, if you want to talk about the goalkeeping position, given the situation we have now, and he hasn't accepted the new contract offer, plus what we heard, a bit of arrogance from him, saying again he doesn't think he needs to improve on anything. Plus, given the fact you can say to him, he's a world-class goalkeeper, and he's in his own right. He's done quite well. I'm sure there won't be shortage of clubs looking to sign him if he doesn't extend his stay at Chelsea. Don't you think we should be looking at, again, getting another goalkeeper in, or do you think Slonina comes in? Your thoughts to become the second-choice goalkeeper?
I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen much of Slonina. I need to do some research on him and do some YouTube watching on him. I don't know much about him other than the basics. Listen, Mendy is underpaid for sure. There's no doubt about it. He's on a fraction, I believe, like less than half or a third of what Kepa's getting. At the very least, he should be closer to it, if not, more maybe, because he basically we've got two starting keepers. It's simple as that. Will he accept the fact that he'll be sitting on the bench for a lot of times, and only playing cup games if Kepa is the start? Because I believe if both are healthy, I think Potter will probably opt for Kepa more often than not as a number one keeper for league and Champions League games because of his distribution with his feet. I think that's the distinguishing factor between them. Unless Kepa starts making unforced errors, assuming he is still in form and they're both on form, I think he goes with Kepa. I think he's made up his mind, and that's how I see it. Similar to what Pep did in City when he came, But can we sell him? Yes. Question is, will he be willing? When I say he, I'm talking about Mendy. Be willing to do exactly what Kepa did for the last 2 years? I'm not sure he will.
Look like he will.
Maybe he's at. No. How long's left on his contract, Coach?
Let me go ahead. Go ahead and let me find out for you. I think his contract. I think we're not going to be in a hurry to change anything.
Yeah. Because this is his second year with us, or third, I forget now. So he's probably got another 1 or 2 years left after this season. So, you know what? Currently, at the very least, we're going to have him, assuming we don't sell him, for at least a couple of more years after this season, which is good. I think we could sell him for a profit, actually. For a change, we can make a profit on someone, So, but I rate them equally very highly. But if I had to choose right now, based on their form, I would choose Kepa. But because of he's got a plantar fascia,
do you actually need to think about it, really? Given what we've seen? Because you could argue, it would be a solid argument for somebody to come out and say, if it wasn't for Kepa, would be in the 10th place on the table right now.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't argue otherwise, really. His contract expires in 2025. So the club will not be in a hurry. The club will not be in a hurry to give him, again, to offer him something better than what they're offering him right now.
Sure. Mendy's a bit unfortunate because had they not changed the manager and Tuchel was still in charge, Tuchel would have probably been picking Mendy, and he had more bargaining power as the starting number one. Mendy is really unfortunate in that regard because he's lost his bargaining leverage. But but I think he's underpaid. But having said that, he would have, he jumped at the opportunity to play for quote unquote a big club, for Chelsea. So because
And he has worked for him.
Sorry, sir.
It has worked for him. That decision to join a big club, quote unquote Chelsea, like we said it, is what has worked for him because it's more like it's good scouting work by Petr Cech, I must say, to have again found him because he was. I wouldn't go into that right now, but that's by the way. I get your argument. So there you go, Roger. I hope you're happy. And now 4-3-1-2.
It was mutually.
I think that's what it was really. Are you happy?
It was mutually it was mutually beneficial for both parties getting Mendy. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So
and one thing I have to say is this: I am not again by any means necessarily saying Mendy is a bad.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
But my point is again, he has to accept that there's something he needs to fix. But from what I heard, what Rodrigo said on the panel the other day, it doesn't sound like he's accepted he has something to work on, which is poor. Because again, 50% of solving a problem is accepting you have a problem.
Oh yeah, more than that. But my defense for Mendy is, and I'm playing devil's advocate, which I invariably do, is that we don't know the context of that question or answer. When you see something in black and white, it doesn't have the nuance of tone or sarcasm or any other underlying body language, facial expression. It could be taken out of context very easily. So unless I see the whole question and the whole answer, do you see my point of view? Because he seems a humble chap. Coach,
but that statement says otherwise. If in fact he said that, but it sounds like he did.
Right, that's a big if, though. When I say could it be taken out of context, we have to understand that could very well be the case.
Yeah. So let me quickly catch up with the chat. I'll come back here because we have some work to do here. The person I asked whether I would think again Graham Potter, because having these two guys start Silva. And again, Koulibaly starting at the same time. To me, it's more like having again the whole egg in a single basket, and it's risky. But we'll talk about it in a bit. Loftus-Cheek needs to add goals, and I've talked about that from my brother Kim. So again, I'm good. Again, thanks. How are you? Okay, just saying hello to each other again. What time now in the UK, please? I'm not sure. I'm not in the UK. I'm not sure really. Again, you can use your phone just to Google it. What? A lot of English players in Chelsea squad is affecting us. Joel, if I one day, I wouldn't say that. That's kind of I don't know how to say. Again, you shouldn't be saying that really. Again, and I'm not sure. Again, how to respond to that. Again, the Coolest Cells are just saying hello to each other. Again, the Porter prefers playing English players. There's an argument for that. Had that been the first thing I say, again, there's an argument for that. But I won't say they're making us back. No, but I get where you're coming from. What a bomber that again about Kepa. He was on fire again in fine form. Yep. Again, you have to say that again. You could say had it not been for him, would be in the 10th or even 12th place on the table right now. Again, I personally think he will go with a 3-4-3. Mendy, again, Ruben Chalobah, Silva, Koulibaly, Cucurella, J5 cover, Mount, Alba, Sterling. Again, that's a big chance he doesn't start Zakaria. But to me, Zakaria would do us a world of good here, honestly. Even though, again, I must give him credit to still accommodate J5 because J5 was pivotal as, again, how well we did against Zagreb. But to me, like I've argued before, I would have liked those guys to, for them to play against us and then not play here. Because now you could hear him saying that was a good reaction from the boys against Zagreb. Did I not say that, Roger?
No,
I said it.
Yeah.
If we win that game, if we beat Zagreb, you could say again he's gotten the reaction, and then Arsenal is a fresh game. To me, I would have found a way to exempt near majority of the guys that played against Brighton and play again new faces. Again, not minding the outcome, give young players a chance, even give Omari Hutchinson a chance. And again, Lewis Hall and all those guys, the result doesn't really matter. We're top in the table, no matter the outcome. and again, and then let the reaction be against Arsenal. And I said it, and now he's come out and said what it was a good reaction from the boys. What good reaction against what team? That's how I see it. But that's, by the way, again, yeah, thank you for that. Let's see. Supreme Court says again we need to assign one of again Mount or Gallagher to Partey tomorrow. Don't give him a space to breathe. I think his Partey, you could say, he's the engine of the current Arsenal team. I'm not sure how they're going to do in his absence, but if they played without him, how many times they still did well too. To me, it wouldn't be about stopping Partey alone. A lot of them. Again, the problem comes everywhere. And again, you must close him up too because he can shoot quite well. It's not about running the game for them. He can also shoot quite well. What a signing he's been for them. Again, and we could say Atletico Madrid, you could say they have a way of killing talents, really. He wasn't playing this good at Atletico Madrid because at Atletico Madrid, it was all about defense. But look at the player again. He's a different player entirely at Arsenal, and that's why I think we should go for what's a Portuguese kid. I don't know if I should still call him a kid. João Felix. I think he would do well in a team like us, an attack-minded team, rather than what Diego Simeone what he does to players. Again, let's say again, come on Chelsea tomorrow. Yep, let's do it. It says Thomas Sanders. Nice to again see you again here. Joel Ifeanyi says Mendy should just leave Chelsea. Don't value him. I don't know where the argument that Chelsea don't value him comes from. When Thomas Tuchel didn't even drop him when he was underperforming. He didn't do that. We only saw that again that Kepa can actually get the job done when Mendy got injured, and that's it. And you don't drop goalkeepers like that. Let me see what we have here, guys. Again, tell your predictions. Not yet. Relax. It looks like you have to go do some betting, and all you're waiting for is it's for the predictions. Let me see what we have here. I hope Mendy doesn't. I don't think he will, and hopefully he's worked on his mistake. Just keep it simple. Don't overdo it. Don't overthink it. UK time again, which is again 1:33 p.m. Again, let me see. Why is Coach not talking to me on the panel? Roger Bear, my witness. Didn't I talk to him and he didn't respond like 3 times, really? And I thought he was out.
No, I never saw that. I'm just kidding.
Bobby, I talked with you, and again, you did, and you know you can always come in. You don't have to wait for me to talk to you. You can always say you want to say something. I'll let you go. But I talked to you
like wondering what's happening.
No, maybe you didn't hear me. I talked like 2-3 times. Yeah, but let me catch up with the chat and I'll come to you. Also, it says again, I think Mendy being treated very unfairly by the fans. His drop of form was nowhere near how bad. Again, Kepa, we're not comparing whose bad form was worse than the other.
True.
The true, again, we're not, and I don't think the fan base have been unfair to him. No, we're just saying. Again, you can say in most cases, you would just what we've seen out there. The fan base raving about Kepa's brilliance, how good he's been. The comparison doesn't really make sense. Again, like I said, Mendy didn't even Kepa didn't even get a chance until Mendy got injured, and then we discovered how good he can be. And Potter came in. He started for Potter, and he's doing well under Potter. And you can't just drop goalkeepers like that. It's as simple as that. Mendy, he has his chance now, and like I said before, I'm going to say it again. He's well equipped to do better than Kepa Arrizabalaga, given his height. Because in football, as a goalkeeper, high claims. In football, high claims is everything. He can stop crosses from reaching whoever again it's intended for if he can come off his line and do that. So again, you get that now. Mendy has AFCON and UEFA Champions League, and he looks at Kepa's salary and does again the maths. And does the mathematics, and it's unprofessional, but he does have a point. Yeah, I get it. Again, let them sort it out. We can keep them both and keep them both happy. It's our academy not that good that he cannot pull someone out of the academy to fill out the space in the first team. He's done that already. Omari Hutchinson has been training with the first team. I just heard the news from Liam Lane that again, what's his name? Lewis Hall is part of the first team too. That's the thing again. But yeah, I don't know how else to argue that. I might get okay. Thank you for that again. Let me see anything else. Again, I feel bad for Kepa though. He really did a ton of corners, and not again. Now he wouldn't make it to the World Cup due to his. No, I don't think so. I think it's nothing serious. It's something that probably in a few days I think he'd be okay. Remember, he could have carried on if we don't have any capable hands on the pitch. I think he still go to the World Cup. I think Spain would still call him maybe as a second choice again. If he gets better, he starts. Kepa is injured. Yeah, he is, but I think he'll be fine. It's not again that bad really. Let's see again. Chelsea will beat Arsenal. I want to see that happen. And I'm going to come back to the panel. So, Bob, your thought on the selection so far? We're going. I think this was the structure we used during the last game. It makes sense because if we paid attention, Mount played deep. Plus, when we were looking at the numbers, we saw again the count of balls into the final third showed that he played deep. Zakaria also played deep, but you can say he was predominantly on the left-hand side and Jorginho centrally. So that does make a sense. And it was an ingenious idea, actually. He did good enough job there. He was able to support Jorginho centrally. Again, but your thoughts on the selection so far?
Yeah, I mean it's clear to me. 4-3-3, 4-3-1-2, 4-3-2-1 doesn't really matter to me. Even three at the back. I think with the kind of coach we've had since Tuchel, we have enough to do a lot of formations in game. What we start with doesn't mean it's what we finish with. It all depends on how the game pans out. I'm very, very, very clear about goalkeepers. But before I go to the goalkeepers, I'll talk about the midfield tomorrow. And I really want to see, I hope Zakaria is fit enough. Zakaria, you're going to scream or pass out when I say this. J5 and Kovacic, with Ruben doing what he did in the Champions League game, possibly coming off the bench to replace maybe Zakaria or Kovacic. I think those three in midfield need to be the ticket. We haven't seen Zakaria with both Kovacic and J5, but I don't see any reason why that can't work. I mean, if they haven't been working on making it work, it will give me concerns because this is the sort of game we need those numbers in the middle.
So you're talking a
As far as
combo
the
of four and who in
goalkeeper
the
is
middle?
concerned, let me just as far as the goalkeeper is concerned, I'm very, very, very clear, and I don't think that's a position to mess around with. Kepa number one because he deserves it. Mr. Mendy number two because you deserve it. I don't want to talk about Mendy going and all that. To me, you know my stance on that sort of talk. BS. It's under contract. Yes, the contract is being improved. Yep, let negotiations continue. He is number two, though he's playing because Kepa is injured, until he proves himself to be number one again, just like Kepa did. Simple. You know, I was brought up in the era when England had two excellent goalkeepers. We had Peter Shilton and we had Ray Clemence. When Shilton was on form, he played and Clemence sat on the bench. When Shilton lost form, Clemence came on and Shilton sat on the bench. And eventually, I think Clemence kind of stole the position. So this is no different. None whatsoever. None pussyfooting around. Kepa, number one, he deserves it. Mendy still has something to prove as far as I'm concerned. Still wasn't impressed with the ball at his feet against Zagreb. Fortunately, they didn't pressurize him much. My heart went into my mouth each time it happened.
Go ahead.
And my heart went into my mouth each time it happened because he looks unsteady. That's what it is. Thankfully, Slonina is coming in January. I really hope and pray he puts the cat amongst the pigeons, and they both might end up on the bench. So, you know, that is a good position to be in. I'm not here to pacify goalkeepers. We're here for the best. Simple as that. So he's fortunate.
No sentiment.
None. Don't do that. You don't do that in top flight football. You know, he's fortunate, Mr. Mendy, to be on that pitch tomorrow. And that's only as a result of Kepa being injured. Kepa kept his mouth shut. He supported the team and quite clearly worked very, very hard on his deficiencies. And he's made up for them. So when he was picked as the first choice, I have no problem with that at all. The guy deserved it. Unfortunately, he got injured and Mendy's back. Has Mendy improved? Well, the jury's still out. You know, I wasn't sure of him with the ball at his feet. And if he's not going to be a keeper that's good with the ball at his feet, then welly it. Knock it to Rosed if it comes there. Don't
Bobby,
just
I haven't heard that in years.
you know me, I'm old school. I'm old school, Roger. You know?
Okay,
knock it to
so
Rosed.
Coach,
Why
welly
mess
it.
around? Do you know what I'm
Welly it.
Let
saying?
him finish. Let him finish.
You know, why knock it, why mess around with it? He's clumsy with the ball at his feet. He's clumsy. He knows that. We know that. Don't mess about. Get rid of it. Then we'll start having some confidence in him. You know, I don't. That's just my view. I'm afraid that I don't have an argument with it. I'm very clear about goalkeepers.
Yeah,
Okay,
again,
Coach.
I agree with you. Let me catch up with the chat, and again, maybe I think you agree with everything else. Again, the selection we made, even though I wouldn't want Silva and Koulibaly, I just thought at the same time because we don't want to put all our eggs in the same basket, but at the same time, doing otherwise, again, we cannot, you could say, overlook the importance of this game. To me, it's season defining, and no matter how I know Roger sees it differently, they
Sorry,
should
Coach.
both
Coach, can
start.
I just say one thing?
Yeah.
We have what? This is the first of 3 games to the World Cup.
Mhm.
So put everything you got into it. The next game, what is it? A Carling Cup game? That's where we can play about. I heard you talk of Lewis Hall being on the bench. I think that's a good thing. We need that backup. If not, him starting. But and I hope Chukwuemeka's better and is around because we're going to need these guys coming in. So this isn't putting all your eggs in one basket. This is just playing what you've got, and we've got to go with everything for these 3 games, which take us to the
I
next
mean, my
transfer window.
argument is there's a possibility, again, only one of these 2 starts with Chalobah. Now, the plan for us here is to put Chalobah on the right-hand side in the fullback position. Only one of these guys start. Chalobah coming centrally with Aspilicueta playing in the right-back position. But I think we need a quicker player than Aspilicueta. That's just, again, we can't do otherwise, really, but I get your point. Let me catch up with the chat. Again, I meant as in how people want Mendy sold already. That, again, part is very unfair. Porter's treatment was justified. Nobody's going to sell Mendy. That it's not that simple. His contract is on to 2025. Then the club is not going to actually be in a hurry to offer him something better until probably next year they start talking even more. Again, they will watch his performance at the World Cup. He's going to the World Cup, right? Isn't he? I think Senegal is going to the World Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, yeah. So they watch his performance at the World Cup too. So those are things will come into, again. Those factors will come into play on how much, again, you could say the raise he gets. Again, a draw is looming. Let's see what happens. Giovanni Jaffa says again, I hope you're doing well. Yes, Lewis Hall and Omari Hutchinson are training with the first team, and that's a good development. Training with the first team alone is a good sign. Again, who's asking? Where are you from? Who you asking? I want to know. What do we have here again? A Mendy disaster class incoming. Kim, so you still have that key, really? You haven't dropped it. The panic bus key. You just picked it up again, or what? Again, Reece James is being missed. Arsenal wouldn't have started wouldn't have stood the chance. He had D being fit, but again, we can do without him. As to do well. I prefer Mendy over Kepa. That's your choice. To me, right now, I prefer Kepa over Mendy, given their form. Again, it's the simplest standing, given how we like to play, given Kepa's, again, sweeper keeper, again, ability, that goes a long way, given how we like to play. Kepa did not snatch the gloves from Mendy. Mendy, a few mistakes, let's have it right. Again, Mendy's mind is on his money. Kepa is not it. Again, and buying it. Okay, I get it. You're not gonna wind me up today. I don't have too much energy. I love you, brother, but again, yeah, that one is not gonna work. Kepa is a beast, but Mendy is a king. Both are good goalkeepers, great goalkeepers, if you want to phrase it that way. Kingston, be patient. If Kingston becomes positive, be sure tomorrow somebody will buy you a car. If it becomes positive, consistently for like 10 shows in a row, believe me, something again, a good will happen in your life. That's how I see it. Roger, let's talk about it now. Do you think really these two guys are going to start together?
Who are you referring to?
Koulibaly and Silva. I know.
I'm sorry, yeah,
This is
okay.
a very important game. Do you think they're gonna? Have we seen that on the ground, Porter? Really? We have, but in the back three mainly.
Yes. I mean, it all depends. I don't personally see it. I don't think he will do it. I should say Potter will do it. However, if Chalobah doesn't play in the right back, then perhaps that won't transpire. That's
No,
how
but
I
we
see
can
it.
still go with one of them, Chalobah playing centrally. Then the right back man being Cesar Spilicueta. There's a chance that happens really, but
I personally
it's
think
unlikely. But go ahead.
I would start this. This would be my choice, but I think it's going to be Chalobah on the right and probably Silva on the left.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. I think Koulibaly, don't forget, is just coming back after a knock. He only played 60, 65 minutes. So he's going to rotate and he's going to put Silva in. I'm assuming that everyone's healthy, by the way, 100% for the most part, 95 to 100, because they all have knocks. So I'm assuming it's going to be Silva, Chalobah, and probably Aspie. If not, it's going to be Koulibaly, Silva, Chalobah. That's how I see it. I don't see him playing both in the centre without Chalobah playing on the right. I could be wrong, but that's how I see it. I think he starts Silva, Chalobah together.
Yeah, so you don't think? So wait, you say it will be Silva and Chalobah together without Koulibaly on the bench?
Affirmative.
Except in the back three, then we can see the three of them.
Yeah, of course, yes.
Ty, what do you think? Do you think, Ty? Hopefully, I can hear you now. Ty, do you think this happens?
Which one, back three or back four?
In the back four, because I think it will most likely be a back 4-3-1-2, like we saw against Zagreb. Because he'll be seeking again. I think he probably decided to go with this structure to have more protection for the back four because they've been shaky of late. But Ty, I want to get your thought for this back four. Do you think we'd see these guys, two of these guys, Koulibaly and Silva, in the same game? We've seen them together, but predominantly in the back three. Currently, have we seen them play in a back four structure?
Not necessarily on paper in a back four, but it's something that we have seen. When we do switch to a back four in game, we do it. But I think this is probably more ideal than playing a back three, because I think most of us has established that Koulibaly is better in the center, and you have to play Silva there, or rather you don't have to, but you play him there because you're guaranteed some good level of performance from him. So I think this is probably the most ideal thing to do. And yes, if you play Chalobah as the right back, quote unquote, it's easier for you to switch to a back three, because he can play on the right. He can also play deeper, and also play as coverage, because Silva is not necessarily the same as he was before in terms of playing in a back four. So he needs some coverage as well. So I think probably this is probably ideal to do if it's a back four, because he can switch to a back
At least that's what we think.
Yeah,
And
so I think this is
does
ideal.
his thing. Sorry?
That's what. Yeah, I think this is ideal.
Yeah, it is a deal, but Potter will always do his thing. But we're gonna give it a shot anyway. King Ike's, it's been a minute, brother. How have you been? This is again a hello, my Chelsea family. Hello to you too. I hope you're well. I haven't seen you in a while. Again, it's this again. I'm well, thanks, and just worried about the game tomorrow. Well, again, you could say, if we're being truthful, a lot of us are worried, really. Given, you could say they been doing quite well. They've done better than us since the season started. Again, I hope again, we win. Tomorrow, Zakaria is going to impress everyone this season. Let's see what we have here again. Go Chelsea, my team. The sky is blue. Ukamwa. Emmanuel Ukamwa sounds like an Igbo name.
My
Again, nice to
sky's
see you here.
green.
Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. And please don't forget, again, to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Just 3 more likes away to get it to 60 likes. Let's get it to 60 likes as soon as possible. Again, it looks like we'll get to 100 by the time, again, we get the lineup finished. Ty, while I'm still with you, Ty, let's go to the midfield 3. Most likely, I don't see him dropping Jorginho in this game. So Jorginho drops here. Now, how do we... Kovacic is equally important. But defensively, in terms of protecting the defense, like we see he's capable of doing, and again, and ball recoveries, again, Zakaria will be huge. But in terms of progressing the ball, because I'm sure quite well, Arsenal, they press very well. Pressing is their thing. Kovacic comes into play. How do we accommodate Kovacic? And you could argue that there's a chance, possibly, again, Graham Potter did not start Kovacic in the last game because he wanted them to be well rested. He said, again, in his press conference, he says it was precautionary. So now, how do we accommodate Kovacic? To me, let me let you speak first. I'll let you know what happens. If Kovacic is going to start, most likely Kai will not play because Kovacic will probably most likely be accommodated on the right-hand side. Here, if Zakaria stays here, then we'll see again Mount here instead of Kai Havertz. But Ty, you go ahead. How do we accommodate Kovacic in this again midfield? Really?
Ooh.
Yeah. Now you know Graham Potter's work isn't easy.
I don't think he stresses about this. Honestly, I just think he finds the best.
He probably
solution.
hasn't made up his decision right now, but it won't be easy to decide now. If we truly deep down believe Zakaria starts, okay, how do we accommodate Kovacic?
That's the issue now because I generally think that there's 2 aspects of it. Zakaria, when he played with Jorginho looked a bit more comfortable. He had somebody he could rely on. And personally, I think even if you do that with a Kovacic, you still need somebody to support Kovacic. So
But
I
Kovacic is
think
important against Arsenal. His ball progression ability is again his ability to dribble his way out of tight spaces. How many players in the team can do that? Just him.
I personally think Kovacic would start though.
Yeah.
I would like to see Zakaria, but I think Kovacic will be the one playing. I'm not sure if Potter would throw Zakaria into the game just like that, especially in the Premier League. He hasn't started, he hasn't got any minutes in the Premier League. And against Arsenal, who have shown at least this season that if you make a mistake, they will try and punish you. I'm not sure if they'll be forgiving if Zakaria plays and he makes a mistake and then it leads to an opportunity or leads to something that could be avoided. I think Kovacic is perhaps going to be playing because, like you said, he has the ability to dribble out of tight spaces, and that is what he's known for. And also, you have some level of creativity. Yes, the midfield doesn't get assists, but the assist does really matter in terms of Kovacic because he actually does create. And normally, when he does create, he creates to get assists, but he doesn't get the reward, or he doesn't get rewarded if he makes a pass that leads to a goal. So I guess in a sense, Kovacic has to play because he is essentially one of the only players that we have that can actually help us in those tight spaces, because Arsenal will be a team coming with aggression. They will try to let the space limited, and they'll always be marking players. So we need somewhere that is able to get past that press and who will be press resistant. And I think Kovacic is more ideal. Zakaria could perhaps still play. You never know. Graham Potter may say that Zakaria and Kovacic or Jorginho. I'm not sure. I think in a sense, if we had to choose between Kovacic and Zakaria, I think I would say Kovacic because we need our player who can progress the ball and at least get into the final third.
And you could argue if really Potter respects Arsenal in terms of respecting their ability and doing what he should do to do well against them, they'll probably most likely start Zakaria, but I don't know. Maybe if it feels like he can still get it done without Zakaria, because Zakaria has actually proven if he prefers playing CMs rather than guys again who apply themselves as CDMs, Zakaria is still capable of doing that. He progressed the ball well. Line, you could see again him orchestrating line breaking passes from that deep. I think he should be starting this one, but based on performance, it doesn't look like Graham Potter rewards performance immediately. But we'll see what happens. Roger, your argument: how do we if Zakaria is starting? How do we accommodate Kovacic? Because I know other players more important in this game than Kovacic. That's my argument. But I want to get your thoughts.
Okay, assuming Kovac's knee is 100% and he can go for 60 to 70 minutes at the minimum, and assuming Potter is still in charge tomorrow, I think he doesn't play Zakaria.
You have plans to fire him tonight.
Well, Bowley's on my speed call dial, okay? No, I don't think he starts Zakaria. I would, but I have a feeling that he doesn't start Zakaria. I think he puts Kova with Jorginho and probably Mount. That's what I believe he's going to do. And now, if he does start Zakaria, that means Mount will play number 8 and Sterling sits down, inshallah. But we'll see. I think he's going to find a place for Mount in the midfield with Kova and Jorginho. That's what I think Potter will do. I would personally prefer to play Zakaria with Jorginho and Kova. That's my opinion. But that's why I'm not
No,
taking
no,
a big
put
part.
Mount in the midfield
Sorry, sir?
against Arsenal.
I couldn't hear you.
We're not going to be able to play if Kova isn't playing in that game, really. To be honest.
I would play Mount with Kova and Jorginho. I think that's very good. Having said that, Zakaria with Kova and Jorginho that's a solid 3 in my opinion. But what do I know? He's so hard to predict, this Potter chap. Who knows? He could put Mendy in the midfield.
How'd you say that again? Predictably unpredictable.
Yeah, he's predictably unpredictable. He really is. An oxymoron, I get it, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Again, so your argument is that you don't think he gives Zakaria a chance.
I don't believe so. I think he'll come on as a sub, but I don't believe he'll start. That's what I believe that Potter will do. But in case you haven't noticed, I've been wrong before with this Potter chap.
Oh, just you?
Invariably wrong.
No, it hasn't been just you, really. Again, a lot of us have been, and I don't blame anybody. Again, he's
constantly wrong with this guy.
Yeah, it's, again, predictably unpredictable, like you said. Again, Bobby, if you're still there, your thoughts again. What do you think? How do we accommodate Kovacic? To me, you can say Kovacic is one of the more he will be again against a team such as Arsenal that press aggressively and they're quick. Again, to me, he will be one of the best players. How do we accommodate him and Zakaria? Because to me, the only option will be if Zakaria starts here on the left here, then Kovacic should come to the right and Mount goes here, which means Kai will be out of this game. But Kai is equally important in this game given the way he played. But your thoughts, Bobby, how do we accommodate Kovacic and Zakaria again in this structure in particular, the one we're looking at on the screen?
Why does Kai have to be out?
If for instance, I'm thinking that's what I think Graham Potter would do, because you could argue he trusts Mason Mount a lot, and you could say loyal to him in the sense that again, if again Zakaria starts on the left like he did against Zagreb, Mount was here against Zagreb. So to accommodate Kovacic, he had to be in the central area here, again somewhere here in the midfield area. It's not going to be further forward. So he starts here, and now Mount has to go further forward in the position of where Kai stays, the number 10 position, because Mount can play here. He can play here. Either he'd be a waste of resources, if you ask me.
I don't see a problem with playing Mount and Kai Havertz.
And still accommodate Kovacic and still accommodate Zakaria.
Why not? Play that in front of a front one, or play one of them behind and have a front two.
But-
I think you're thinking of Sterling. Sterling's out of my mind.
No, I'm
I don't
probably
even think he
in
should
my
start
case
this
again.
game.
If I'm being honest, I'm thinking
Me
of
too.
Broja and Aubameyang starting, two attacking players
Well,
again.
we know that. Well,
Mhm.
that is a choice, and we're here to just share ideas. That is an idea, but I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll do Aubameyang. It's more chance of him doing Aubameyang with
And
Havertz and
Sterling.
Mount than Aubameyang and Broja. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
if there was a chance of him doing that, I would say, why not? And I think we need a three-man midfield. Whoever is there, whether he starts Zakaria or not, I really think we need a three-man midfield. I think this two-man midfield nonsense has been our weakness and is our weakness. We don't have Kante, who is two people anyway, and we need
Exactly.
three. We really do.
Roger, I
I
see you
don't
have a
see.
gang now.
Sorry.
No, I'm talking to Roger. I always agrees with you. Go ahead, Bobby.
Yeah. Well,
Because
we
he's
don't do it on
logical.
purpose. We just see the reason behind it. Look. We're dealing with a team that is going to flood the midfield. That's going to high press. Now we want to put ourselves in a position where we can deal with that and counter press. The only way we can do that is with a three-man midfield, as far as I'm concerned. Playing with two men because you're afraid of accommodating one and not the other and all that is just going to be a problem. Crowd the place, stifle them, and then you beat them. If you've got people good on the ball, you will beat them, or they'll foul or something like that. But
And that's
if you
that's that's
give
why
them
I think Kovacic comes into play. That's why I think it's
exactly,
important for this game.
exactly, and let us not be injury FC and aggravate anything with him. But he has to play. He has to play to again in that sort of game. I would start Zakaria because I think he's done enough to earn at least another chance. But if you feel he won't start Zakaria, then he's got to start somebody. He either puts what's his name? Oh gosh, see my head's gone. I'm all Gallagher plays him in there along with J5 and Kovacic, or he puts Mason in, Ruben in there. Either he brings Zakaria off the bench or he starts him. I think he should start him. This is not a game to play with. This
Again,
is this
yeah,
is a big game,
there
and
are
we've
too
got
many.
to
Go ahead, Bobby.
and we've got to go in it to win it. We have a lot of injuries of key players, so we've got to play what we have, and this is what we have, and I can't see anything outside that. I'm not bothered about whether Mount I think Havertz should play this game. I think Havertz is very dangerous. I think Havertz will cause them problems, like he's always caused them problems.
In the number 10 position.
Yeah, why not? Why can't we accommodate him with Mason? I thought Mr. Potter is the king of unpredictability. So that's unpredictable. That will keep them thinking. Put him up there with Mason. Put Sterling on the bench. Let him come off the bench. Play Aubameyang. Now, the only reason I would start Aubameyang ahead of Broja is for psychological reasons, nothing else. Not that I
Yeah,
think he'll be more effective.
even more pumped to go to play that game.
Well, not so much that. It's just that Arsenal as well will be psychologically concerned about him because he's an ex-player. You always are concerned when you play against them because they know about you and they usually know how to hurt you. That's just it. But apart from that, if you want to get that out of your head, I would start Broja in this game because he's made for this sort of game. Tall, powerful, strong, fast. This is his game. Can finish. Why not?
Yeah, again, and I think with this structure, again, you can say it's safer. We can crowd the midfield. On the right hand side, also, I think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is also capable of playing here too. And I think actually he'd be better executing this role here, the right, again, this number 7 place here, than actually Mason Mount. Mason doesn't really do well as it does when he plays further forward, closer to the final third. I think Loftus-Cheek does well here from deep. On the flanks and from deep. I don't want him centrally if he plays deep. If he plays deep and he's on the flanks, he still does quite well. He's able to help. Again, he helps overload the midfield and also can go forward, put in good crosses. Again, he's explosive on the right-hand side. Roger, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. You're talking about Mount, right?
Now, I'm talking about here. Let's not just say it's Mount. I wouldn't be surprised if Graham Potter starts Loftus-Cheek here.
Yeah.
And he didn't play the last game, right? Did he?
Let me look.
No, I'll check for you. I don't think he did. Let's go to Chelsea here. Just 1 second.
I'm bringing it up right now.
Yeah, it's this one here.
He came
No, he
off the
did.
bench.
Yeah, he was on the bench. He didn't even come on, did he?
Yeah, it's not the
So
end
he-
of the. He did come on. He did. It's
71st
not the end of
minute.
the
Let me
world if he
see.
starts.
He played
Why not?
20 minutes, basically.
But again, the fact he came in the 70th minute again, which means again probably, I think he can play in that position and he can execute it quite well. Actually, that's what I think. But go ahead with what you're saying, Roger.
No, I mean, he's used him quite widely in that position. You and I both agree, though, that Ruben is better suited further forward.
Yeah, but also he's shown that he's capable of playing on the flanks here and be more productive than playing centrally.
Sure.
But we're
And
going to
that-
ask the people in the chat, let them help make this decision, because I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 4-3 anything, even again that he starts here.
Yeah, because then he can help out with
Yeah.
Chalobah back there, because he's playing slightly out of position. So, I mean, I would not be surprised. This is something that Potter would throw a new wrinkle at. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised. I still doubt very much Zakaria plays where he played last
I doubt that
Wednesday.
too, but again,
Yeah.
the people in the chat, they make their choice. We
Sure.
do our analysis. We select certain player. Majority carries the votes. They
Yeah,
decide.
no, I get it. You got to love democracy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would play Kova, but yeah, I think Ruben. I can actually see Potter doing that. Actually, I really can. Who knows with this chat? But yeah, I mean, it's sound. The guy is big, strong. He's very similar to Zakaria physically in so many aspects. He really is. They have similarities. You know how I feel about Ruben. I rate him quite highly. I think he's been a good not because he's come from our academy. I just think he's a really good player, and he's been unfortunate in his career. But yeah, I can see him playing there. It seems logical to me. It's not. It doesn't sound illogical. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, let me quickly catch up with the chat. I'll come back to the panel. We'll continue building here. Go Chelsea, my team. The sky is blue. Yep, again, London is blue. Hi, Coach. How long is Fofana's injury? I'm not sure how long. I think it'd be out. He wouldn't be able to play again until around after the World Cup or so, I think. So I'm not sure. Zakaria will score tomorrow. That is if he gets to start, but we'll see what happens. Again, hey, how far with Fofana's injury and James? James thinks he can make it to the World Cup. He's looking for, again, I wouldn't want that to happen to me. It's a risk. He could risk, again, a setback. And then I think, like Ty suggested, I think Chelsea should block that, really. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we'll be rounding up soon. As the moment we get done, we're building the lineup. We'll call it a day. This injury crisis is making it difficult to set, again, a good team. You could argue that, too. Again, bring Zakaria when we are 2-0 up. The Mikel approach, again, there's a chance he starts. It's a chance he starts on the bench, too. But tomorrow's game calls for covers. We can also, again, accommodate them both. And Shaw will stay defensively. The defense has proper protection. And I'm sure we're still able to play no matter how Arsenal press us. Let's see what we have here. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to try to catch up with everything in the chat. Here we have again. It says again. King Guy says, I think Zakaria, he can do the best thing tomorrow he can. But the manager, he sees things differently. We never know. Zakaria could start again with the show he puts up against Zagreb. We need something new in the midfield. We need proper protection for our defense. Kovacic didn't play against Zagreb. Thank God. So he's most likely to start tomorrow. I also dubbed again. He starts Zakaria. I thought again it would be nice if he did, but Graham Potter is predictably unpredictable. Now that's my new thing now. If you haven't, please take a second to drop a like on the stream, people. We have 61 likes. We should be doing better than that, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. Lusala, it's been a minute again. More importantly, you're here. I hope you're doing well. Nice seeing you. Hi, guys. Any confidence for tomorrow games? Again, let those in the chat respond. For me, again, I think because we're the underdogs, I think we'll do well tomorrow. Coach, we have a panic bus, train, yacht, and plane at the terminal, and and I swear I just saw a Potter out train just pulled in.
That's
yeah,
funny.
and somebody said the other day, which one am I driving? I said, it doesn't exist yet. It will be a spaceship, a panic spaceship. So I'll be an astronaut again, panic astronaut. But let's see what we have here again. Sterling is so frustrating to watch, even though he scored versus Zagreb. That's just the truth. Denying Kai two delicious assists. Kimso, ask him why and let him explain. Sounds like Potter might prepare that 4-4. What? I get it. They're making a fun of what's it, Todd Bowley. That's gonna be 12 players in total, plus the goalkeeper. I get it. And Zakaria should start in addition to Jorginho and cover true. Expect the unexpected from Graham Potter on the team. That would be perfect balance because Jorginho can control the game. Zakaria protects the defense. Kovacic keeps us ticking no matter how again hard Arsenal press us. But again, I hope he sees that too. It's the first time Chelsea is facing Arsenal without confidence, which is a good sign because the previous times we faced them thinking we're going to mop the floor with them. They've lost 20 games in a row. We're going to make it 21 and boom, they end up putting up the performance of the season against us. Yeah, so again, let's not get carried away. Zakaria was not that good in the last game. If that's how you see it, again, the midfield was still open. A team like Arsenal would take advantage of that. Nobody's confident, really. But I get it. Again, we need the attackers, Broja and Oba, together. I'm not sure when that's going to happen, but I'm not going to be surprised if I see the two of them start tomorrow. Talking to Limitless there, again, it's either Zakaria or Kovacic with Jorginho and Mount. Wow. 3 midfielders, 100%, but who? That's where the issue lies. Again, let's see. I don't know if I should ask those in the chat. Again, I'm going to stop reading. Again, if I continue reading, that's all we do today. BB for the babies, again, cannot wait for the game. Okay, good to hear. And again, if you're watching, we have 61 likes. We should be doing better than that if you haven't. Again, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Smash the like button, people. Says the queen of the house. I could have had. Again, prefer Rafinha over Stalin. I don't know. Again, but we should set a stronger weapon because Arsenal knows our weakness, I think. I mean, our injuries. Yeah, they know. Thank you again. Again, Suleiman, Dollar Network. Again, nice to see you here. Thanks so much for finding the time to join the show. Hit the like button, people, says my brother Tobago. Again, thank you so much. Again, and be sure to go check out his channel. Again, if you're a mod and you have your own channel, please, you don't have to wait for me to tell people to subscribe to your channel. Just add your link. When I get there, I will talk about your channel. Jorginho and Kovacic will start against Arsenal. We will lose the game and everyone will blame the midfield. Who do you think starts? What's the pattern there? If we're saying that, again, is majority of the people are saying that, again, that Zakaria should start, how do we accommodate Zakaria and Kovacic, who's very important too? Again, those youngsters of Arsenal, they are so fast, so hungry, they have the spirit, and that makes a whole lot of difference. Chelsea, Chilwell tore his hamstring because he never regained the muscle loss from being sidelined out again with his ACL injury. No one takes the gym seriously at Chelsea. Okay. Yeah, and now again, I'm not into really. I'm not buying the idea of Reece James going to the World Cup, even if he recovers fully. So I'm going to come to you immediately, Tobago. Your thoughts on the lineup we picked so far. Do you agree with it, or do you think it should be different anywhere, structure-wise or personnel?
To be honest, I agree with it 100%. Because, as you said, like in the midfielder, it's my dream for tomorrow. But again, I'm not Graham Potter. Graham Potter like to confuse us sometimes. We can start. We can analyze the. Yes, we can analyze the lineup, and then tomorrow praise another player in a different system. So overall, I would like to see Zakaria, Jorginho, and Kovacic in the midfielder. Where we have Jorginho and Kovacic enjoying that partnership, Zakaria just cleaning that mess, so that Thiago Silva can go deep or Koulibaly can go deep, creating those chances for our attackers. And then what I loved about Zakaria, the game he played against Dynamo, every time when Koulibaly or Chalaba going up front, he filled that position very well. And we missed that at Chelsea. A defensive midfield that is aware that one of our defenders is going up front. We need to fill that spot up rather than hidden with a counter attack. No one else is there. Maybe someone exposed. Unlike maybe Thiago Silva is alone there.
Go ahead. Looks like he's disconnected.
It's a starting lineup. Hopefully tomorrow he'll play them.
Yep. Again, hopefully again tomorrow Porter does his thing. We can pick the lineup all we want. Tomorrow he just does what he wants. Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Martinelli and Saka are better than any Chelsea Academy products bar Reece James. Really? Wow, that is some statement from Thomas SW6. Wow, really? Okay. Again, subscribe. Yes, here's the link to TyTalk's YouTube channel. Please go check it out. It's approaching 600 subscribers. Check out my player profile series. You're gonna love it. Again, I think the Omari Hutchinson video should have about 19,000. How many views right now, Ty?
21,000.
21,000 views. That shows you that video is on fire. So you need to go see the Omari Hutchinson video. Again, believe me, be sure to subscribe to TyTalk's YouTube channel. It's growing really fast. He's been patient, putting in the hard work, even though school doesn't allow me enough time to do more videos. But again, each one that comes out is quality. You have to go check it out. Again, don't take my word for it. Go check it out. And if I lied to you, come back and tell me. Thomas Bissaka is injured. I think he's starting. They're confident he's going to start. If you don't know, again, Zach again starts to weather the first half storm, and then when Arsenal inevitability runs out of steam, we sub on Clover. That may well be a good approach. Start Zakaria to keep them running, protect the defense while Arsenal do a lot of the running, because they're not machines. They're humans after all. When they get tired, you can bring in cover to do the damage. So I'd say, yeah, that's a good approach, really. Let me say anything else here again. Chama Yosef, thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. Another one of the queens of the house joins again. I hope you're doing well. It's weekend, so yeah, again, I'm happy you joined us again. No Martinelli cannot score. Let's see what we have here again. That take deserves a double timeout. Oh my goodness, I'm nervous about tomorrow's game. And you told me your brother is an Arsenal fan, so again, hopefully. The good thing is that we're nervous. We're underdogs. To me, we'll probably get to win that one. That fact is that, again, I don't think you're a Chelsea fan. No, again, forget what people are entitled to their opinion. If somebody says we're going to lose, doesn't mean they're not a Chelsea fan. It doesn't mean that. Honestly, I have to be honest with you. Let's see what else we have here again. Anyways, again, let's just, hoping the guys to do the best thing tomorrow as they face Arsenal. We need to go into that game with our A game. So again, Matt, let me bring you in because you haven't spoken given this lineup, this selection here. I was asking if there's a chance we accommodate Zakaria and Kovacic. We voted. Left for me, again, I'd say deep down, it'd be difficult to tell whether Porter starts Zakaria. But if he's going to start, we understand how important Kovacic is, again, to this sort of games where the opposition will be pressing us aggressively. How do we accommodate Kovacic? And are you okay with the selection so far in the formation, Matt?
Yeah, I think. Sorry, I had a dip before, but I just realized you're still alive. I might as well jump back up. But yeah, I think this lineup is pretty reasonable. I mean, we have to start some of these players because of injuries, and obviously some players aren't good enough as in the squad depth. But I do definitely think Kovacic should play with Zachary Jorginho. Why not? Like Zachary is on great form, and we don't have a lot of options. Like I would automatically rather him than Loftus-Cheek any day of the week. We know what Loftus-Cheek can do. We know it's not effective. I would might as well give someone a shot like Zakaria, who had a class performance last week and could definitely do that again. So I would definitely start him in, and obviously for Kovacic that's in that player 7 spot. I mean, there's definitely we can have Zachary Jorginho sit back with Kovacic in front of him, or Zachary Kovacic with Jorginho behind him. There's a lot of different ways we can play this midfield 3, and I think playing this midfield 3 would be the best midfield 3 to play. If it is a back 4, obviously. But obviously the only concern and the real concern is that Chalobah right back, because obviously it's not really a right back, but I would definitely put him there over Azpilicueta any day of the week, because obviously playing against Saka, you need a bit of pace, you need a bit more defending. So then that will need to accumulate someone in that midfield position to push up a bit more, and that being the run of Kovacic on the right may have to accommodate for the lack of forward presence. So Kovacic might have to accommodate for that.
It's a difficult. I'm going to have to again let the people in the chat help us decide that one. But we can say here, Kai Havertz most definitely. Again, not most definitely. That's what we believe. We're seeing again he's better up in that 10th position. Created 2 delicious chances, which Rogers Cousin flopped. Again, didn't even do well with it. Aubameyang here.
Aubameyang has to start any day of the week.
Yeah,
Easily.
Start again.
Instant start for Aubameyang.
Yeah, he has to. What do you think about Kai in the 10th position on Aubameyang here?
Yeah, I mean that's our stock standard. I mean, Aubameyang will have to start this game. I mean, I think he'll have one of his best games against Arsenal. If any player is going to have a bang of game, it has to be Aubameyang, because he has something to prove. As he said in his little preview, it's nothing personal. So hopefully, nothing personal means a hat trick, because that's the only way we win against Arsenal is if Aubameyang shows up, and scores more, 1 or 2 goals, which would be great. But Havertz as well. I think, I've always said I think Havertz doesn't fit our system. But I think we're finding maybe this position might, and I want to continue on. He's here. I would rather have him there than any other players. I think he's the most suitable for that role. So let's continue to see how he plays in this role. I don't think he's good enough for this team, but maybe this new position can maybe make him good enough. We'll find out. I know we're going to find out if we keep playing him. So I will definitely put him in this lineup for sure.
To me, I would say actually Havertz is the best natural 10 we have in the club right now, honestly.
Yeah, definitely. But as said, we don't really play with that position often. That was always my problem. If we did, then yeah, that's a different story. But we don't really play. He normally plays in that striker role, which we know he can't play. If we play with a back 4 and he constantly plays in that position, then we can have a conversation. Okay, maybe he can have some output, but when he plays in these games, he needs to thrive when he has the opportunity. Because sometimes he'll play good for a game and then die off for 6-7 games. Like, we need to see this consistently. That's the only thing with our young, in quotation, attackers. They're just not consistent. So I need to see consistency from Havertz in that position if he wants to stay in this team.
Yep. Again, Roger, what do you think about what we have so far? I'm waiting for those in the chat to decide here. I'm using the number 7 here just because the number, that you can say the placeholder has, it doesn't mean that's the number 7 position. But Roger, your thoughts on again Kai here in the 10th position, Aubameyang here. But here, I think we're going to see a surprise tomorrow. But again, here are positions where I think we're going to see a surprise. 4 places really. I think we'll see a surprise for one of these guys, 2 up front. We're going to see a surprise here. That's 2. I think we'll see a surprise in the 10th position. and here. And that's, again, the whole thing trickles down. If this guy doesn't start, and again, and Kovacic starts there, or it becomes another structure or two 6s, then a lot would change around here. This could change, this would change, and one of these 2 9s would change probably. But go ahead, your thoughts on what we're seeing so far. I'm going to wait for those in the chat to vote, finish their vote, so we can plug in this one here. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think Havertz playing deeper in the number 10 suits him very well. You know, if you notice, though, the previous game, they were pretty fluid, that front three. You saw Havertz sometimes when he made that beautiful cross to Sterling, he was playing on the left side at that moment in time. So they're pretty interchangeable.
Man, that pass, I haven't still gotten over it, really.
Yeah, as I said, I watched the game yesterday a second time, and he impressed me. But and then I saw actually Aubameyang. In fact, all 3 of them, they were definitely fluid and interchangeable throughout that match. You saw Pierre-Emerick on the right sometimes, in the middle, and on the left. So who knows? But I like him there, Havertz, in that position. I think that's where he's best suited. That's where he plays for Germany, and he excels in that position for Deutschland. So.
And why do you think Havertz did play so much better in that position?
Because you can
Is
say
that Cam?
that's
Oh,
where
no,
it has, again, space is important to
yeah,
him.
space, because there's Mason Mount's not there to hog up the space. He plays in a much better role, and as you're right, it's more fluid because he has players like Sterling and Aubameyang who are directed to the goals. Where you got Mount who just runs around the pitch, like a headless chicken. So Havertz does play better in that role because he has more direction, he knows where to go because he has more space. That's what I said. I've always wanted him to play as a 10, but we don't play with that often. And then if you add Mason Mount in that lineup, it just doesn't work out. So if he can continue playing like this and having more fluidity and playing that position, it may work out for Havertz. He just needs to be consistent.
Yeah,
well, I think if Mount plays in the number 7 position, which he predominantly did for the most part last game, you saw Havertz excel in that position also. So
yeah, but we're talking about Havertz, not Mount. Mount's a whole different story.
I know, but I'm just saying he was not playing in a number wide 8 up front to the right. I'm really not sure whether Zakaria plays tomorrow, though. That's my only doubt. But I would like to see him play personally. I'm not sure that Potter affords him that luxury. That's all I'm thinking.
And Bobby, you can always come in with your argument there. You don't have to wait for us. Again, let's see, if you're watching, people, if you haven't, take a second to drop a like on the stream. Again, we have 62 likes. We should be doing better than that, and we'll be rounding up soon because we'll get done the moment we complete, again, constructing the lineup. 62 likes, we can do better than that. Bobby, you have anything to add to, again, the front area? We have Havertz here. We have Aubameyang here. Again, your thoughts. We have one more position here. Again, here they're voting on it. They're voting on it to decide who will plug in here. Again, if I pick it again independently, that's on my own. Again, it'd be a different structure and a different personnel. But Bobby, your thoughts. We have this position left here, of which I'll still ask them. The Starling can play there. Pulisic can play alongside him because it's a free role, really. The main number 9 is this guy here. So it can be Starling, it can be Christian Pulisic, it can be who once more, any other, I might be saying Amanda Broja. But for me, I'd rather it be Amanda Broja. But your thoughts, Bobby?
Yeah, I was going to say Matt would have been so proud of how I spoke about Kepa.
I missed that. What'd you say? What'd you say? I missed it.
Some nice stuff.
So anyway, look, as I said, I try and speak with clarity, and I hope that the manager acts with clarity. When I look at this game, I'm thinking of how Man United beat Arsenal. And the way they did it was they had some clinical finishing that day, and they packed the midfield and stifled Arsenal a little bit in midfield, although it was a bit of a battle for them because at that stage they didn't have the likes of Casemiro. But at least they put numbers in there such that Arsenal that play with a high press had to focus on a sort of what I would call a double high press. And it left them open at the back for the break. Now, can you mimic two games? Of course not. But can you employ tactics that are similar, that exploit a weakness in a team? Most definitely. We certainly have to have a three-man midfield in a nutshell. Now, the front two you're talking about, for me, I think Sterling goes on the bench. I think he comes off the bench today. Against Arsenal. I don't think he's on form. I think maybe that might do him some good. A little warning, a little sharp jolt. I don't know. Maybe even a little rest, but he doesn't start. I
But do
get
you
what
think
you're
Potter
saying
really
about
does that
Broja.
though?
Sorry.
Yeah, go
Do you
ahead.
think? Do you think Potter really does do that though?
Well, this is part of the things I've said about Potter. You know, people
Yeah.
get upset when I say that, but I think he plays too much to reputations. And I don't think you can do that in a team like Chelsea. You have to play to form and tactics. And at the moment, Sterling hasn't really fit into either. Now that we're talking about the top three, Havertz plays, as far as I'm concerned. I think Havertz is a quality player. I remain miffed as to why people criticize him. Yes, he misses a few chances, but yes, he scores some very vital goals. And yes, he creates opportunities for the others. And yes, he's a handful and a problem to the opposition. Now, we don't have many forwards like that. So I think to start, because it's a 5 substitution game, to start, I would be so bold as to do a Havertz, Pulisic, Aubameyang start. Bring Mason off the bench, which is it's a brave call because it means you're trying to. Mason has good work rate, which will trouble Arsenal. But the fact is, we need a bit more than good work rate. We need finishing rate. So I'll take a chance on substituting that with Pulisic, who should be hungry, and he does do some good things when he plays. So I'll start that. If Pulisic lets us down, or either of them let us down, at least we have that strength in depth to bring in your likes of Mount or Gallagher or so on. So
Wait,
as I
so no
say, it's a
Sterling,
big
Bobby.
game, and we can't. We've got to be ruthless in this game and
Yeah.
very tactically astute.
Yeah, we have to take our chances. And this comment right here, I think the race aspect of this, your comment, isn't really necessary at all. This is a Chelsea perspective. You're entitled to your opinion, but I think you took it a bit too far by saying again, Havertz is you started. That's fine. Havertz is a basic player. It's your right to say that. The worst player ever played for Chelsea. You're very right to say that. Y'all should stop this. I don't know. Again, this part it's not really necessary. I don't know. It's caused because it's white, so you give him all
Just skip the
these
comment, coach. There's
excuses.
no point bringing
That
it.
yeah, that's so unnecessary. Really,
Stupid.
that aspect is so unnecessary. You shouldn't be doing that, and please don't do that. Please, yeah. Say he's Rangers level, Dundee level, QPR level.
Dundee.
That's fine, but don't go to that aspect. It doesn't make any sort of sense.
That's messed up, Dundee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So again, it doesn't make any sort of sense. Thomas B. Again, Chelsea would prove you wrong tomorrow. I hope they do. I want us to win again. To win again tomorrow, and I believe we will because given the simple reason that we're the underdogs, the charity FC factor will not work this time. Truman says, Coachella, my brother now speaks with a big chest, and to make matters worse, he stays at my house and bantering you in your own house. But the good thing is that, believe me, just remember I told you this. I think we're not going to lose tomorrow, at least. Let me just put it that way. We're not going to lose tomorrow. And hopefully we'll win so you can look him in the eyes and say, okay, you see that? To me, if following the history of how how we've done when we play against them, history shows again most likely we'll win tomorrow. I think the least result we could get would be a draw. Honestly, given that they're doing well, they're 10 points ahead of us. It's not like they're losing games. And again, the next game they're going to play us, they will lose 11 games if we beat them. That's when I'm really concerned. And again, that has happened in the past. My dad is an Arsenal supporter. Everybody is in real trouble, and you have to go to school too. You told us the other day. Yeah, good luck. but I think we'll win. Nightbot, again, Thomas SW6, if you're watching, Nightbot is a machine. It's not a human being, so you don't feel like somebody is just targeting your comments and deleting them. Again, if you use more than 3 emojis, it'll start, again, targeting your comments. So apologies for that. A child of God, yes, let me see. Thomas says, again, how I wish Chelsea beat Brentford and Man United. Yeah, again, but those are in the past now. Tomorrow, the game at hand is Arsenal. Man and Chelsea, again, Manic, again, wake up blues winners versus 2 Arsenal. Okay, that's, I'm not sure what to make of that comment there. The main issue with Chelsea is that, again, 3-4-3, no good wing backs, and for 4-3-3, no good CDM, and for both systems, forwards get no services, and when they get, they fluff it. So yeah, it's everywhere really. Again, Mans got up on a Sunday morning and chose violence. Yeah, indeed, that was what it was. Again, hi guys, I'm back again. Rewan, nice to see you back. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. Let me say what he says again. Man U beat Arsenal. Yeah, but it doesn't work like that. I wish it works like that. So let me see what those in the chat thinks. They think Mount starts on the right-hand side, not even Gallagher. But I know we'll see a lot of surprises tomorrow. Mount, to me, again, shouldn't be playing deep. Again, if he's playing on this playing deep, it is probably because of his industry and energy. Yeah, the running he does.
Oh, the running. Yes,
that's
probably
the reason why.
Like a crime.
Sorry?
That looks like a crime.
Like a what?
A crime. Like we're committing a crime.
Explain yourself,
the last time I saw Mount playing that deep was against Arsenal, and we lost 4-0.
But that's what I'm saying. I'd rather play Loftus-Cheek there.
He played in the
Kovacic starts immediately. Hang on, this is Arsenal to play our best team. Kovacic starts over there. I don't care. Mount can hold the bench. I don't care. Kovacic has to start this game. He's one of the best midfielders in this. One of the best players in our team.
I think
Kovacic
he starts too,
has
yeah.
to start. I'm sorry.
I totally agree.
Here's where the issue lies. Again, Matt. It left for the panelists. We do our analysis and plug in again what we think really will start. But those in the chat, but there's no point
putting Mount in a poll. He's obviously going to win it because he's poster boy. So you got to put the honesty in why they want Mount.
Poster boy, I love it.
And here's one point that I think Ty made that makes sense. Mount doesn't really do well when he plays deep.
But he did a few days ago though. He played primarily.
No, but he didn't really do well. Was he productive enough? No, it's just about defending.
He won the ball back
because of the running,
some interceptions,
and everything. That's the point. But in terms of the output for the team, again, he was really poor to his standards. Really, if I'm allowed to put it that way. Yeah, that's how I see it. Again, go ahead.
It was against part-time plumbers, and we're coming against Arsenal. Like, this is a big game, and I would rather start someone who can show up in a big game like Kovacic, who has always shows up in big games, rather than someone who has iffy games.
He's excellent. Yeah, I agree. I
think nearly everyone on the panel agreed. This game is Kovacic's game.
Mount, obviously Mount's not good enough to start over Havertz.
In the chat, really.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying Mount. That's why I'm responding to the chat. If Mount starts, he starts in the attack. But unfortunately, I don't think he's better than Havertz in that 10, and it doesn't start in that front line. So I'm sorry, but he has to hold the bench. Like, he's just not good enough to start in that role. We only have one position to have. He doesn't suit it, but obviously he'll start. Like, he will. Potter will put him in somewhere.
Assuming he's fit, I think 95% he starts. I agree with Matt.
Yeah, unfortunately, he'll start either way. Like, we will play. Even if we have the best attackers. I'm saying unfortunately because we've got better players who fit that position. Like, if Kovacic would fit this position more, Havertz fits that cam role. Mount doesn't. If we play with 2 10s, if we play with 2 10s, Mount will fit in this role more. But we don't. We just put him in because he's everyone loves him. But he realistically doesn't fit in this formation as we speak right now.
What Mount? No, I agree. Yeah, if it was a 4-3-2-1, for instance, you're right about that. It would be Mount.
Then he'll start.
Yeah, I totally concur. Totally.
Yeah, just quickly again, Expect Me Track says that I didn't see these excuses you guys give advice for Lukaku. a lot of people was giving excuses. We're giving excuses for Lukaku. Tammy, a lot of people did. Bakayoko. Why would I give excuses for Bakayoko and Bashwai? Why would I give excuses for Bashwai? And this player did better than Kai. This player is better than Kai. If that's how you see it, you have every right to see it like that. But really, I want to say that Mount will play anyway. Again, no matter what we think, Mount plays tomorrow. That's just the thing. Again, Jorginho's non DM with supporting eight is scariest midfield in the world football. Again, if he gets protection, he can do he can do a good work there. Again, how can you again say Mount and Raheem should sit on the bench and Kai plays? I'm not sure how to answer your question, really. Again, I'm really not sure. Matt, why I'm still with you, your thoughts again on this. Again, I think most likely Sterling starts, but I think the better option for me would be, given his current form, really, I think Broja will be better pairing up Aubameyang. What do you think?
I mean, this isn't a game to take risks. Like, if this was, we should have done that last week, 100%. But this game, we have to start with what we know, and I know Sterling can put the ball in the back of the net some of the days, right? But Broja, yeah, he can do it, but he hasn't, like, we mustn't forget, guys, he hasn't really proved himself to start in these games yet. Yes, he's done really well, but we have to go off what we know. We bought Sterling in from Manchester City for 45 mil. If he doesn't start these games, there's going to be some issues. Why? Why isn't he starting these games? He's scored one of the most goals in our attack, so I would put him there. I see the argument. I see the argument 100%. And if Broja starts, I wouldn't go and play him, but I would just go with what we know.
That than him.
60, sorry. Is that 45?
No, we paid like 50 or 52.
It was something like that.
It's a lot of golf balls. A lot.
But if Broja starts, I wouldn't be upset. But like, I would just start with what.
Why do you think he didn't play? He didn't play he didn't start against Zagreb when we all thought that's the game for him. Do you think Potter was just trying to play Aubameyang into form, or do you think he was resting Broja so he gets to start this one?
No. Potter's got his own plans in his own heads that we don't even know of. Like, I don't know what he does half the time, and I don't see the vision he sees. Like, we all saw the vision with Tuchel, but I don't see this Potter vision, and I'm very confused on the Zagreb game why he started Havertz and Sterling and about
Totally
I started even Mount
that.
for a whole 90 minutes. So like why is he doing this? Why don't we experiment for these games like Zagreb? Pop on a Broja with Aubameyang. Let's see how it works. But no, he decides to start and play Mount for 90 minutes, Sterling for 90 minutes to get them more tired. When he shouldn't be doing that.
Coach, I agree with Matt. I don't see his quote unquote vision, however you want to term it. Perhaps there's a lot of chopping and changing. I'm talking about not injuries aside. I understand that, right? I'm talking about just generally up front, whereupon they've all relatively remained healthy. I think we can all agree on that. The interchangeability where he chops and changes, I agree with Matt. I don't see the logic behind what he's done so far. Maybe he's seeing stuff on the training ground that we don't see, and I grant that. I concede that, but I agree with Matt. Logically, we could all see what Tuchel was doing. For the most part, it made sense. But seeing what Potter is doing, it's nonsensical to me. So I get what Matt's saying, because I don't see it. I don't see it at all. Even after a couple of games or 11 games, it doesn't add up.
It doesn't make any sort of sense, guys.
I like Potter, by the way. I want him.
Yeah,
I'm not saying Potter out. I don't want people to misinterpret.
I'm not there yet.
No, not even
yet.
close to it. No, you have to give him at least a year. Even if we end up 10th, you have to stick with him. You just have to. It's simple as that. I want him.
So here's the thing. I'm willing to give manager times. I'm not willing to give these players times.
Why?
Well, because we've had him since Frank Lampard. Like, half these guys are not Chelsea level.
Who are you talking about?
I can list them all. I'm excited about
Don't get Matt started, please. Roger, don't get him started. Let's move on.
Okay.
Don't do that, please. Don't get Matt started. I don't want that fight right now.
Is it like tap dancing through a minefield?
Again, escape me tracks. No worries, brother. Again, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. But again, welcome to the community, Chelsea Perspective community. Enjoy yourself, express yourself freely. Again, just keep it civil. You're good to go again. Let me see what else we have here. I knew it. You know it. Yeah, I'm not there yet. I have to be honest. Again, I'm not going to lie about it. I have some questions, even though I like him. I like what he did at Brighton. Potter goes again for two dynamic again that we end up being a static. Wow, that's some strong statement like that. That's he overdoes it. Again, that's an argument, a legit argument there. Ty, before I go to Bobby, Ty, your thoughts again. The number 9, who pairs Aubameyang here? Again, if once we plug in that one, I think we should call it a day. And again, let me see if I can share the link to Matt's YouTube channel so you guys can go check it out. He's approaching 1,000 subscribers, and then we should help him get there as soon as possible. So, Ty, your thoughts if you're there. All right, it doesn't look like Ty is close. Bobby, the number 9 position, I don't know if you've spoken about that. Okay, and Bobby,
Yeah,
okay, there you go.
Yeah, number 9. I mean, it seems quite obvious he'll start Aubameyang.
Again, one of the 9s, because now if it is structure, we're talking about 2 9s. So Aubameyang is already plugged in. We need one more 9. This can be Pulisic. This can be. How about it's already in the 10th position?
Okay, then Aubameyang, Pulisic.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be Pulisic, really? You don't think it will be
that's
Sterling?
what I would like. I don't know what he's.
Okay, that's your choice. Yeah, I get it.
Because I think some of these players have to come off the bench. Unfortunately, I think this is a game that I wouldn't start Mount. Now, people may say, "Oh, that's risky. He brings a lot of endeavour," and I think we've got to do something different. I think his endeavour sometimes is fruitless. What I saw 2 players not have a good game against Zagreb, and in my opinion, he was one of them. He gives away the ball far too many times, and another person that was giving the ball away far too many times was Aspie. They were the 2 people that invited pressure on us. We can't afford that against a team like Arsenal. We can't give them more pressure than they would normally give us anyway. And because of that, I won't start him. That's just my personal choice.
Are you talking about Sterling?
Both Sterling and Mount.
Yeah, also Chilwell. Watching it a second time, he lost the ball a lot too.
Well, he's injured, so
he's been doing that
but he
for a
did
while.
well defensive overall.
That was prior to the injury. I'm talking about going forward. He was not solid at all.
No, he hasn't been for a while, to be honest, and I don't think he's fully recovered from the first injury.
I agree.
So goodness knows what kind of player we're going to get after the second. I think we've got to be looking for another left back because I'm not sure.
Again, left defender.
I'm not sure what he'll do when he gets back, if he'll ever get back properly. But yeah, for tomorrow, that has to be it. That. You've got to change things, and that's what I'm looking at Mr. Potter for. I really have my eyes on him. I want to see him. At least you can criticize Tuchel for all it's worth, but at least Tuchel, you saw him. You saw what he was about. You saw what he did. You saw his tactical changes. You saw his tactics in the game. I've not really seen that properly with Potter. I've seen bits, to be fair. But he now needs to stamp his authority. He now needs to show Arteta who's the governor.
Yeah, I think he has to. But let's see what he does tomorrow. But like Roger said, he's unpredictable. Let me catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll come get Eddie's thoughts on the lineup again and why those in the chat to vote. After when the vote comes in, again, we'll call it a day. It says again for me playing against it says I've read that one. It says playing against the league leader, play Aspie as right wing back and Chalobah at CDM with ROC and Jorginho or Kovacic in front of him. That's more like again experimenting when the stakes are this high. I think that's too much of a risk. That would be no different from the type of risk he took against Brighton. I wouldn't, again, advocate for that. Tammy never got a chance under Tuchel, expected for 2 times. Was it? This was no. Again, he didn't even. He stopped getting a chance they stopped getting the chance under Frank Lampard at the moment.
Yeah,
Frank signed some
but
players.
coach,
So it
look at him
wasn't Lucas'
now.
fault really
He's in,
that he wanted to leave.
but coach,
Let's
look at him
say
now.
again,
He's
but
in
it's
Serie
easy
A
to
and he's
just
rubbish.
dump the whole blame on Thomas Tuchel. Go ahead, Matt. Were you saying something?
Yeah, well, look at Tammy now. He's in the Serie A and he's failing there. So like, lucky we didn't keep him. Like, what's everyone complaining about Tammy Abraham?
Yeah, it's been an all again. Not
That's
really
the
a
one
good
thing.
season for him, really. Yeah.
That's the one thing Tuchel got right. Was getting rid of Tammy Abraham.
Yeah, but again, Thomas says, I hope Auba again shows up in the game tomorrow. He has to. After all the, you can say, banter, if you want to say it that way, he has to show up. But again, he's the biggest loser if things don't go our way. Aubameyang has to score, especially again for a guy with an Arsenal tattoo. He hasn't cleaned that up. What the heck? Again, here's Matt, the link to Matt's YouTube channel. Please go check it out. Make sure to subscribe to his channel. It's currently at he's currently at 887. Let's try and get him to 1,000 as soon as possible. Please go check out his channel and do subscribe if you haven't. Broja is on Sterling's case again, 2247. Oh yeah, again. Let's see what we have again. If Mount doesn't start again, we're gonna miss all that running around, not the creating of space where it's not really needed. Plus, he does his own banner. Here's the thing, I just took my time to start reading this thing. I didn't know it wasn't going to end well. But I'm just going to move on, really. Coming back to the panel, AD, let me bring you into the conversation. Your thoughts, again, on the players who selected and what do you think happens in the number 9 position there to fill it in? What happens, really?
Big up, coach. Big up to panelists.
Big up to you too, brother. You were in and outside. I sense maybe you were having a connection issue.
No, actually, just went out. I was going to come in and I had a call. I had to quickly needed to attend to. So,
okay.
Yeah. All right. You see, if we look at Graham Potter always likes surprising us with his lineup. He's very unpredictable. Just as Roger said, he's unpredictably. No, it's predictably. How did he say? Sorry.
Predictably unpredictable.
Predictably unpredictable. That's exactly him. I have a funny feeling Aubameyang might not start this game.
Really?
I have that feeling. Yes. That's the way Potter operates. Look at who did the press conference against Zagreb? It was Broja. Everybody thought whoever does press conferences always starts. He didn't start him. And Arsenal will be preparing everything they know they're facing Aubameyang. And what he might do, he might just bring surprise and throw Broja into the starting lineup. I just have that funny feeling. He might just do that to Arsenal. So that's just for that on that one, Aubameyang. We might just keep an eye on that. I have that funny feeling he might just bring. They will be preparing 100% Aubameyang starting against them and ready. How do we curtail Aubameyang? How do we stop him scoring against us? And he just throws in Broja. I might be wrong, but I have that funny feeling he might just do that.
How about again? So if following this structure, now again, correct me if I missed what you were saying. You don't think Aubameyang starts? Even okay, let's say Aubameyang starts. Who pairs them up front then? We have an option of Sterling. We also have again Christian Pulisic can also play in that position because really the true number 9 here, even if we see this structure is Aubameyang or Broja, whoever who starts here. But this second guy here, a second striker, you could say has a free role, and it's fluid, especially to be specific there. So who pairs Aubameyang if we see him on the pitch tomorrow? Who do you think pairs him?
For me, I think it will be the other way around. I think Havertz might play to pair Aubameyang and then Mason Mount in the Havertz role.
You say Mason Mount in the Havertz role and Havertz went there. Then who plays here?
Who plays the number 9 to pair Aubameyang?
No, I'm saying you said Mount here, right? You said Mount here, right? So if Mount moves there and Havertz moves there, we have one space here to fill. Who comes in here now? Because that's where the space is. That
would be Loftus-Cheek.
I thought as much though, but we're going by the vote from the chat. Bro, while I'm still with you, what type of game do you expect tomorrow from Aubameyang if he gets to start, given, again, the antics, if you want to say it that way? And it's personal to him. Given that video shows, even though weeks ago he said there's nothing, again, too personal. But what we're seeing now shows it's personal for him. If he starts again, do you think it's gonna be all about him, or what do you think?
Yeah, if he wants to make it all about him, he needs to score. If he scores, if he create chances for him and he scores, then it'll be all about him because that confidence will be there. But say he plays and they created chances and he kept missing it, it will really affect him psychologically, and that won't bode well for the rest of the game for us. Because but if he sees his chances and he takes them early enough, then that calms him down, and it's going to be about him as well. Because he needs, deep down in his heart, he will want to play very well against them. So I think if he plays, what he needs to do is just to score. It can't be good for him if he misses chances upon chances. That won't be good for him at all.
No, it will not at all. Again, and after the whole talk, he has to make it, especially that tomorrow. We need to activate that Bozo gene and Gabriel Jesus. Yeah, I hope he underperforms tomorrow. Gabriel is so overrated. Now he's overrated. I think what we're saying that they signed a better player than Raheem Sterling. I'd rather have him than Raheem Sterling, really. But that's right. I'm not going to get into that. How about you, Matt? Your thoughts again? What kind of game do you expect from Aubameyang tomorrow? Because it's looking most likely he will start. What do you think, really, if he starts again? What type of game do you expect from him?
Yeah, I mean, I expect him to have a great game. I want him to have a great game. I want him to, celebrate and then run to the away end and start celebrating for them, So that will be a dream, for him to score a brace or a hat-trick and win us the game. That's what we all want. But, I think, as I said, I think the only way we win this game is if Aubameyang really turns up. Like, I think Aubameyang using all that anger he has inside and releasing it in that game would be the break of how we win this game.
Yeah.
And I think
that's just the truth again here. Go ahead, Matt.
No, I was going to finish off by saying I think Aubameyang just needs to really shoot properly because we know he can score. He just needs to get that ball on target. Same with Sterling, man. But if he gets on target, like last game we had 22 shots, somehow only like 7 ended up on target, right? And
do you think we'll win tomorrow?
And I think I can never predict for a Chelsea loss, but I am going to say 2-1 Chelsea win. Aubameyang brace.
That's what I think too. Again, at this point, I am not expecting nothing from Chelsea, but next season Chelsea will be scary. I hope so. Again, Chelsea scout have to start scouting for world class again, left back and right back. A lot of places, the midfield area too. A fake Sterling again cannot dribble or finish. Mark Saski, I don't blame you for saying that. Again, he's lots of failed dribbles at Chelsea. Again, even more failed dribbles than successful dribbles. But that's, by the way, Gabriel, the defender, not Gabriel, he says, okay, now I get it. I hope he does. Maybe he gets scared of Aubameyang and then makes a lot of mistakes. Let's see what happens here again. Eddie, before I go to Bobby, Ty, and Roger, your thoughts again. What do you think the outcome of the game will be tomorrow?
It's gonna be a tight game. The midfield is going to be key because if you watch Arsenal, their midfielders are Thomas Partey has been very good. He's been very good alongside Xhaka. And if for any reason we see Zakaria, don't forget Zakaria plays at, Xhaka knows him well from the national team. They're from the same country. So
and it goes both ways. He knows him well too.
Knows him well too. So that midfield is key for us. We have to get it right. So that midfield needs to be packed and made very compact because they love using the midfielders to create spaces and the wingers operate very well. That's why we need to get it right from the wings. So it's going to be tight, and I predict, I don't like predicting against Chelsea, but I'm nervous. But I'm going to say 2-1 win.
Yep. Again, let's see what we have here. Again, I cannot wait again for a red card from Michael Oliver. Wow. Okay. That's by the way, Ty, if you're there. If not, again, Roger, let me start with you because your mic is not muted. Roger, your thoughts, what type of game do you expect and what do you expect the outcome to be? I know Bobby don't do predictions, but at least I can get from him what type of game he expects.
I think the most important part of the game for Chelsea will be the beginning, the first 10, 15 minutes. We seem to invariably start slow, and Arsenal actually are fast starters this season. So this will be an integral part of the game and possibly a telling factor. So if we can sustain and maintain a clean sheet at the very least for the first part of the first half, this will bode well for us. As for the actual result, I usually don't predict results, but I'm edging towards a draw, only because of the fact that we're playing at the Bridge. But I'm not that optimistic, to be honest with you. If anything, we're probably going to lose, but I'm hoping for a draw. I can't see us winning because, for one simple reason, until as of now, we have not been clinical. We just haven't been. And sadly, we haven't been creating enough chances, which we were the number one team in the Premier League for a year and a half doing it. So we have to start A, creating, and B, finishing the chances, the little chances we do create. And I haven't seen that up to date as of yet. So I'm not that confident. Hopefully it changes, though.
Yeah, again, Bobby, are you there? Your thoughts again? What type of game do you expect?
F to Bobby.
Yeah, it takes time for him to unmute again. I'll wait a bit. If not, again, I'll move on from him.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, what was the question?
Who's in goal? Just kidding. What's your prediction?
Well, I don't do score predictions.
I know.
I just talk about probabilities.
So go for
Look, Arsenal are on fire at the moment. They are very beatable, perhaps more beatable than they are dangerous. As I say, I refer to their game against Man United at Old Trafford.
They were the
That
better
taught me
team, though.
a lot about what Arsenal's about. And I said right from the beginning, this is down to Mr. Potter. This is where a good tactician as a coach earns his stripes, even with key players out. You've got to tactically outsmart them. Now, we know they are a very midfield-based team. They're a very high-press-based team, fast and using the wings. Flood the midfield. That will stifle them.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to struggle when you do that, and especially if you're able to take advantage with the counterattack. That has to be part of what we do to them on tomorrow. If we start all this nonsense of, play Jorginho in midfield, two-man midfield, three at the back, space galore, and all that crap, then we're just playing into their hands. If we start using the wrong personnel, playing to reputation and not to tactics and form, then we're playing into their hands. That's why I like the idea that, as Roger will put it, that Potter is predictably unpredictable. I think every manager worth his salt these days should be unpredictable. With a squad, you shouldn't be able to predict what you're going to face from one game to the next, largely, not totally, but largely. And that's a good thing. So, if he actually played to that reputation, I think we'll beat them tomorrow. But my concern is he's going to go down the old reputation route. He'll play Mount, he'll play Sterling, he'll play Aspie, and, that's just going to be trouble. I think neither of those players should be starting. They should all come off the bench, just in my opinion. However, get your tactics right, and we'll beat Arsenal tomorrow.
Coach,
Yeah,
can I just
go ahead.
say something? You're 100% right, Bobby, but I watched the Arsenal-Man U game, and Arsenal were actually the better team. Now, you and I both know that in football, it's not like American football, where invariably it does happen where the better team either draws or loses. I get that. I understand. But on that day, Man U were not the better team. I'm not saying that because I dislike Man U. I dislike both of those teams. But they were, shall we say, fortuitous to win. I thought Arsenal outplayed them. They just didn't execute. That's all I wanted to say. So they only had one defeat, and they were the better team on that day. Just my opinion.
Yep, and again, the Bluetooth game says, Coach, I know why you're laughing. I know why you're laughing, Bluetooth game. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it here. Again, PDB talks my brother Pras. It says again, hey, bro, we're gonna go again for a screening for this game at 6 a.m. in the morning in Dallas. Would be 4 a.m. in the West Coast. In Dallas again, that's what time? My time.
Central.
The game
That's
starts
central.
4 a.m. my time. In West Coast again, praying again for a good for God we win. Yep, I hope we win again. Yeah, that changes a lot this season. It will be again you can say confidence boosting again win if we do. Kukurea should sit on the bench. No. I don't see that happening. If he sits on the bench, then we're most likely to start with the back three, which is I got scared. Big up to all the American fans. So much respect for you guys. So much again. We're all again. If you love the club, the time doesn't really matter. Again, that's by the way. Anybody else on the panel want to say anything else? If not, we can call it a day. Okay, I'm guessing that's it. With that, I want to say thank you so much again for those in the chat. Thank you to the Bluetooth game for finding the time to help keep the chat clean. Thanks, my bro here for Pras for finding the time to join. Fawale, thank you so much. Faded and again Nevada again. Yep, again a draw Arsenal to win. Let's be realistic. We'll see what happens again. Benin, Nevada again. The Queen of the House, Josuala, thank you. And again, everyone else who was here, Thomas SWV was here. Thank you for being here. Again, everyone is in Chama Yosef. I cannot thank you guys enough. But we've come to the end of the show. I hope to see you guys next time. God bless us all and bye.
Thanks, gentlemen.